Buenas noches, el programa en vivo. Espero que todos hayan entiendo un gran día. I guess I better know some Spanish if I want to do the old halftime show at the Super Bowl. Holy cow, didn't understand anything. We won't even get into that too much. But anyway, thought I'd just start off with a little Spanish there. I can speak some Spanish, probably not as well as I did before I got hit in the head, but I actually do know Spanish. So I've taken every single class that you could take for Spanish, and I'm also in the National Spanish Honor Society. Not that it matters, but I speak Spanish because I worked in kitchens for years. I actually used to teach Mexican guys how to speak English, as a matter of fact, and they teach me how to speak some Spanish too. But I was already speaking pretty well, and they were my buddies that I used to work with. So yeah, all kinds of crazy stories in my life. But anyway, let's get into the market and see what's going on. All information presented here is for educational and information purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Now I have to speak Spanish, Doge Mama 9 and hola there, como estás, everybody. And yeah, so there we go. Let's see what the market looked like. It wasn't too bad today. Apple was down for whatever reason. It was a red apple, not a Granny Smith today. And Microsoft was continuing to cruise up. Look at that thing. It looks like it's going to continue to cruise up right there. So that thing was looking pretty good, and the video was looking pretty good too. And I think they did have news. I'm not exactly sure why it was popping up, but it certainly was. So we'll go through everything and see what's going on here. And we'll take some notes and see what we like. Lulu's looking pretty good right there. It was up in the after hours. I guess the dip down at the end of the hours. It's just like kind of flopping around here, but it was up like 13 cents a couple minutes ago. But anyway, that's just jumping. Look at that setup right there. That looks like it's curling up, looking pretty good. And we'll go through a bunch. There's a ton of them that look really good that should get running. We just got to make sure this market wants to continue to run. That's the thing. And it's all over the place. So let's get into it and see what we're going to get out of the market. What's going to be popping here? That's Janice and Doge Mom and 9 Cadence and everybody else. So here we go. Let's rock and roll, everybody, and see what's going to happen here. Oh, and DS right there was up some today. It was cruising up, and you have it curling up. And again, I don't know if they're going to get through the 20s here. They're curling up to the MACDs. I think we're going to see a bounce down, and I don't think it's exactly ready to get cruising completely. Now, it could change tomorrow depending on how they want to curl up, so we'll have to be watching for that, and I will keep you guys posted. Obviously, Galaxy right here has a little resistance right there, but it does look good. I mean, at 2250 or so has resistance, but it looks like it could shoot right off of that. So we'll see how things open up in the morning, obviously, but they don't look bad going into the overnight hours. Luis Rodriguez can let us know. Actually, we'll see. As I say it, he was just posting that up. Let's go and see real quick the futures, what they're up to right now. The Dow is down 0.06, S&P down 0.07, Nasdaq down 0.07%. And your Russell is down a little bit as well, 0.08. That Nikkei just keeps on running up there. That's pretty wild. And let's see what our VIX is looking like right here. So let's just look at this real quick and see what it looks like for us. Because like I said, I could see this trying to roll off this MACD right there off the 20. You have some support on the VIX, and it could pop up, which means that the market would pull back a little bit. And that's what I'm saying. And if you look at crypto right here, Bitcoin, look at it. And I don't know if this is exactly ready yet, guys. Like I've been saying, it is making a base right here, but we could still level. I mean, it's trying to curl up. It's not showing me exactly that it's ready yet. And the futures are kind of flat right there. So yeah, I don't see anything just yet. When I see it, I'll let you guys know. Ethereum wasn't looking as bad earlier right here. Now that has a little bit of a curl up look. Ethereum looks a little bit better than Bitcoin and everything else right now. I'm not going to lie. Even Solana is trying to lay flat right there, but just has a weird look. So let's just see how it plays out overnight into tomorrow. See if we get a better idea as if it wants to curl. And again, you don't need to chase it because it's just right here at the bottom. You don't want to get into it if it's going to level down a little bit. Obviously, if you caught these dips, they were beautiful. But if it's going to level down here again, then you don't need to get all crazy with it. So let's make sure it's going to run if it's going to for Bitcoin, crypto, and everything at the moment before we pile into it full out. So I would say watch for the dip opportunities. That's what I'm watching for, to be honest with you. I think they could still be present and they'll still be available. So Keep an eye on that. ASTS right here, that was up a little bit. And again, it doesn't look perfect with the 20 over there. It could pull back. And your UMAC right there was up pretty good. That does actually look like it's trying to curl up. It does have the 20 and some resistance. I don't think it'll get through that, guys. So yeah, they may run up tomorrow, try to curl up some more, and then hit this MACD and come down. That's what we might be seeing on that VIX as well, as it sets up to roll off the MACD up for the VIX. That's where this would kind of top out right here and pull back, and that could be tomorrow. So we'll be watching it for sure, but that is what I kind of see at the moment. Red wire right here still trying to hang out, and again, just all of them have that weird look, like they're not exactly ready, let's put it that way. Rocket Lab right here, this was jumping up today, pull back a little. Now, again, they still look like they might run up, and it could just be in the morning. I don't know, but they do look like they're trying to curl, but I still don't think they're making that hard curl and going through these MACDs, not unless Trump really starts tweeting some crazy stuff about the market or something. I think that would be a catalyst that'll do it, but I don't see it happening just at the moment anyway. So like I said, I'm just letting you know what I see now. Nuclear right here is not bad and has a good spot right there. So that could obviously get rolling. And the other nuclear ones look pretty good. So keep an eye on that NKLR. And then here's your OCLO right here. That's sitting in a pretty good spot as well. And SMR was not looking bad today. So you can keep an eye on them. They're down a little bit in the after hours as well. Employment numbers come out on Wednesday. Initial jobs, claimless, and home sales on Thursday. And then CPI on Friday. So that's interesting right there. Employment numbers, and then the jobless claims, and then your CPI. So we do have a lot of stuff coming out this week as well. So that's what we could be seeing as well on the chart setting up. So, and that starts on Wednesday, according to Luis Rodriguez right there. And so there's your nuclear ones, and they don't look too bad, I must say. EOSE was looking pretty good. And in the same position that the rest of them are in, they do look like they might curl up some more tomorrow. Iron right here hitting that 50, but it looks like it's going to try to get to the 20. I just don't see them curling up that much where they're going to get through the MACD, keep on cruising, and just have this crazy run right now. And let them run up here. We'll catch the run up. We'll even catch the pullback if that's what they want to do and bounce back. And then we'll catch the next run up. So that's exactly how you play the market. And hopefully that's exactly how it bounces around, because that would be perfect for us. Because the dip opportunities have been absolute buying opportunities. Every single time it dips down, it pops right back up. You guys have seen it nonstop. CRML right here up a little bit as well today. Excuse me. And in the same situation as the rest of them, an MP right there was up 2.5%. That looks pretty good. Maybe that one could get curled up because it has a little tight channel there, and it could get moving. This UAVS isn't looking bad either, so check that out, and maybe we'll get an idea off of some of them if they hit the MACD and then just bounce right back down. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Here's your RGTI. It was bouncing around today, as a matter of fact. And then, of course, your other quantum and computer hardware ones. Here we go with your QUBT, and it is just kind of bouncing around, up a penny, down a penny in the after hours. D-Wave, that was up a little bit. That does look good. And again, look at it. That's a good curl up right there. It looks pretty good for D-Wave, QBTS. And we'll see. Let me see. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't think that's getting through there just yet with the 20 coming down. Maybe they get up to it, but I don't know if they get through it. And again, we'll keep an eye on everything in the morning. QMCO up 5 cents, nothing crazy, just kind of flat more or less. And then your QTUM is your Defiance Quantum ETF, and that was up, curling up. That doesn't even look bad right there. QSI right here is what I was trying to type in. That was kind of flat today. That one's just kind of been hanging out there. But IONQ was up a little bit today and not looking so bad. So keep an eye on that. And then, of course, RCAT, that was up today too. I saw that when we were talking about that. That does look like it wants to curl up a little bit, but again, get rejected off of that MACD. At least at the moment they do. And I could say they'll change my mind in a day or so, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. And here's your ZSPC right here, just kind of hanging out, and has been not really that great of one, but we watch it anyway. And of course, USAR, USA Rare Earths. Now that looks pretty good. That one could get curled up too. Look at it. That one has a small little channel right there and could easily run back up to that 28. So keep an eye on that. Excuse me. Holy cow. So yeah, USAR right there. And I think we were saying I forget what other one there was. UAVS, I think, was looking pretty good there too. Yeah, that one's looking pretty good as well. So a couple of them. UAMY right here was down today, and that's a little bit of pullback. So we'll have to see what that one's up to tomorrow. UUUU 4Us right here. That one looks good, and that could continue its momentum there. So you can keep an eye on that one tomorrow. Not looking bad for your energy fuels right there. And let's see what else is up with this chemical company, ASPI. And that's what they do, ASPI isotopes. And it's been kind of beaten down, trying to curl up. It's nothing real crazy there, but maybe it'll try to get rolling there tomorrow. UNH taking a nice little dip right there and looks like it could pull back more. And MOH, look at that thing just staying down there right now. And we were talking about Oscar going into its earnings right there. Look at that bad boy. And that has earnings tomorrow. And I don't know if it's before or after, but look at that thing. That thing looks like it wants to run off our earnings. Remember we were saying that yesterday? And it does look pretty good right there. I was looking at it today. I did not jump in any. I don't even like to play any earnings, but that does not look bad right there, I must say. So if you do like earnings, check this one out. It has them tomorrow, and it's a Nasdaq right here, Progressive G. Let's see. It's just kind of hopping around flat a little bit, nothing too crazy. And IMRX, that pancreatic cancer one, hitting a little resistance, and again, just a little bit flat as well. It says it's down a little in the after hours right there. And then your Chipotle right here was up a little bit. That's setting up right there. Chipotle looking pretty good, guys. Might want to keep an eye on that one. CMG, that looks like it wants to run. And then CBRL, good old Cracker Barrel right here. That was up a little bit, but down in the after hours, and it's not looking that great right now. It looked really good going into today, so we'd have to look at it. You can see right here, it's at 33.88, it says. That actually says it's still at 33.41. That could be more. Who knows what price? It's somewhere around there. It's not a big pullback if it is down there. Anyway, but yeah, that's just kind of hopping around right there. And I do think you do have a hop around period, a little setup period, and we'll have to see exactly what it wants to do right there. And then, of course, your boil, if I type that in correctly, we might see it. That's our natural gas one. That was pulling back there today. But Gush right here is our oil and gas. It was up a little bit more today. And look at ExxonMobil still running up there, guys. Holy cow. These things just keep running up. When are we going to just hop on the bandwagon? Like Oxy looks pretty good right there. Any of them look pretty good. They just been running like every single day. ExxonMobil, CVX, and Oxy, and all these guys just nonstop with these oil and gas ones. So keep an eye on that. We point it out every single night. Plug right here looks like it's ready to get plugging away. So you can keep an eye on that. That's getting set up like CMG. That's not looking bad as plug. I just wrote plum down. I don't know why, but I jotted down plum instead of plug. What is plum? That's not even a stock ticker. I didn't think I was going to say. I don't know a plum. But plug is definitely plug power right there. So there you go. And QuantumScape isn't looking bad. Oh, it jumped up. Again, look, it might get rejected off that MACD right there. They have earnings coming up in 2 days. So not on Wednesday, they'll have their earnings. And so let's see what it looks like here going in the earnings. It got the spike today. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to continue to run up there into its earnings, but it was a nice little spike up today. Rocket companies right there, Zach. Trying to get set back up, I must say. I mean, look, it has a really nice curl up. It is trying to get set back up. I would watch for any kind of dip opportunities on this. Obviously, down here is going to be your bottom at like 19. The heck does that say? 1961? Is that where it's at? It can't be. It's right there. No, that's 18 something. Oh, wait, that's way down there. Okay, 1773. I was going to say, what was I looking at that? I don't even know what I was looking at. But anyway, 1770 something right there would be a bottom area. But if it gets down there, I don't know if you will exactly get down there. So there you go, Zach, no problem. But yeah, there's your rocket. And again, your 20s coming down still. But that has a really nice curl up on your RSI. And your MACD is not looking too bad. Looks a little better than most of them. I'm not going to lie right there. So Keep an eye on Rocket right there. That does look like it's trying to set back up again. Lucid right here. Let's see LCID, this Lucid, and this one's running up in that channel right there. Saw this one. I know Luis Rodriguez does like the old Lucid cars. Oh, I didn't post. I gotta post them videos. I got a couple videos, but let me write down the Lucid video just so I take it off my phone too. All right, I gotta do all that tonight. I didn't obviously do it last night with the Super Bowl, so I have to do all them videos this evening, I guess. Anyway, I'll have to knock all them out. But that Lucid, I was telling you about I went to the auto show, and that Lucid car and SUV, holy cow, they were so fast. It was crazy. It was pretty wild how quick they were. And I was going to post a video for you guys, and I forgot, and I'll tag you on that, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see what Rich Tech Robotics is up to. That's actually looking real good. I would say watch for Rich Tech Robotics right here. That actually could be a little bit of a play tomorrow, perhaps. Look at that. That is setting up. It does look like it's trying to do something right there. Let's get a better look at Rich Tech Robotics. That's looking pretty good right there. Yeah, I do like that look for it. So keep an eye on that one, everybody. RR right there. That does look pretty good. And how about Galt right here? Let's get it to go popping for Joseph Levy. I did see him post. I don't know what's going on with my voice. I did see him post today that his surgery actually, where's my phone? It's in my pocket. I usually put it on the charger, and I didn't. But here, I'll find it real quick. I didn't even look it up yet. But let me just see real fast what he said. I know I commented to him, but let me see. Where the heck was it? Hold on. Let me find him real quick. It's on. Let me just find him here. He did say something, and I'll just give you an update. He did say update right here. He just got done eating dinner in his own room. He had the surgery got extended a little bit because of his T-spine MRI results. They ended up doing a micro decompression on his T9 and T10. He said he's trying to avoid another major back surgery later towards the end of the year, which would include another fusion. So that's the update from Joseph Levy. And it was his birthday the other day as well. So happy belated birthday to him, too. He went in for surgery like a couple days after his birthday. So that's pretty wild. And right after the Super Bowl. But yeah, so hopefully he's doing well. He recovers pretty fast because that's a pretty major surgery right there. And his Galt right here, that's what he likes. And it is just kind of hanging out there, getting set up. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one as well. I think you could take that one out. Let's see real quick. I know they have options. Let's see where they go. 320, like a month out. Not too crazy right there. Let's see what April. It was April. I knew I seen a bunch. So April, it looks like people are expecting this thing to go from like the 2s to the 7s. Like, look at that thing. So I wouldn't doubt it either. I don't know if it's going to take that long, but maybe it will. But yeah, look, it was already trading back there, so it will turn back around. We just got to keep an eye on that, and it could be a good one right there for Galt. And then our fun Six Flags right here down a little bit, but that's just slowly but surely making its way back up. And Play right here was down, touching that support line, and that could bounce right back up. We'll keep an eye on Play tomorrow. And ARM was looking really strong. It pulled back a little bit in the after hours. It looked like it wanted to continue to run, and not saying it can't tomorrow. But maybe it does have a little pullback before it runs up. You can see the 20 curling up. It looks really strong. I'm not going to lie. And that pullback in the after hours is like minuscule. That's really nothing right there. So that could just get rolling right back up first thing tomorrow. So there you are, Luis Rodriguez. But ARM looking really strong right there. You might want to keep an eye on that one. That looks nice. And let's see what Grab is up to. And Grab right there, just kind of flat hanging out. It does look like it tried to bottom out right there, but also look at it coming up to the MACD. Doesn't really get through it. It has some good resistance right there. You're 20 above that. So that one could just bounce around a little bit at the moment. And Oracle, ORCL, running up today. Remember we were talking about this thing looking pretty good down here, getting out of the basement. Well, it certainly did right there. And it still doesn't even look bad to try to run up some more. So keep an eye on, whoa, yeah, Oracle looks pretty good right there, I must say. ORCL, keep an eye on that. And let's see what else is going on with our list right here, everybody. Adobe, let's see what that's up to. That's still pulling back in the basement. Wow. that did enter the dungeon right there for sure. That's about to enter the what do we say, a black hole. Holy cow, that one's pretty bad. Consistency spike. We'll check them bad boys out, that's for sure. And yeah, Adobe right here, not looking so healthy, I would say. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for when it wants to actually reverse right there, Janet. Yeah, Janet. Holy cow! Why can't I even think? My brain is like fried today. I tried to do some Spanish talking, and I can't even comprehend anything after that. That was pretty crazy, and I still can't even comprehend anything. That's so weird. I can't like speak or say people's names. What the heck is going on? Anyway, Marvel right here. I could do this. That's about all I can do. Let's see, because this thing, it's Janica anyway, but I don't know what I was saying, but Janica is what I was trying to pronounce. But Marvel right here is not looking too bad. But again, hitting that resistance, it does want to kind of break through that MACD right there. But I'm not, I don't know. I mean, and again, you see the breakthrough right there a tiny bit and then pull back a little bit. And with all this resistance right here and the way the market looks, I could see Marvell pulling back a little bit as well right there, Janica. So I would say keep an eye on this, and maybe it will have a little bit of a pullback. And again, we'll have to look at the market tomorrow, but I'm just seeing what it looks like at the moment. Abbott Laboratories, remember we were looking at this the other day before it started crossing through. That'll probably get up to the 20 right there around 113. So that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a slowly but surely, but it could spike up pretty good right now. ABT looking pretty good. I mentioned this one at the beginning of the show. Lulu, that's in a good spot right there. That looks like it's curling up now. Lulu looks like it wants to run right there. So keep an eye on that one. And I just spelled it completely wrong. And it's LULU right there. But yeah, look at that look. And maybe you don't even get through like that, but maybe it just spikes up tomorrow. So keep an eye on that tomorrow. Good old Lulu right there. I think that's looking pretty good. And let's see what else is going on with Berna. That one dipped down pretty big today, and we actually saw the bottom on this today. We actually called that bottom right there, 1352 as a matter of fact, and now it's back into the 14s right there. So there you are with Berna, and that one's coming up. And again, let's see tomorrow what it wants to do. It has all this resistance. It could pull back a little bit right there and then get set back up. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one as well. And like I said the other day on Friday when I was live trading, and I did sell this at the end of the day. I got out of all the options. I said if it pulled back, which it was down like 7% at some point, at one point, I said, you know, you're so happy that you got rid of it and you locked in your profits. But then when it goes up, you're like, damn, I should have held it over the weekend. But I think the consensus is every single time just lock in those profits and you'll always do well in the market. So you can't go wrong if you're up and you're locking in profits, that's for sure. So we'll titty you Sam right there, Luis Rodriguez. I just saw that pop up. I was like, what? But obviously a Bad Bunny song, or yeah, Bad Bunny, right? Yeah, terrible Bunny song right there. But anyway, let's keep on cruising right through our list right here. So that is Berna right there. And let's see, AppLovin was cruising along as well today, and that looks like it wants to continue up. And another one has that resistance, could continue up tomorrow and hit that MACD and come back down a little bit. So just keep that in mind for a little momentum play, but just for tomorrow probably, and possibly just in the morning. But I would more or less be watching it to jump up and lock in those profits for all of these. But that's AppLovin, APP, LPTH right here. Let's see what that's up to. And that bad boy. Oh, LightPath. We were looking at this today. I said it the morning. I said that this was one of our pick of the days. And there you go. That one was cruising along right there. That one and Lunar right here. That was a pick of the day. And that one went up and cruised along. So that wasn't looking too bad. That doesn't look bad going into tomorrow. And another one could get crawled up there, has big resistance up there. Not even sure if it gets up that high, but it could get up running as it hits that MACD. I'm not so sure it crosses through right there, but still looking pretty good for Lunar and LightPath. Like I said, that one is looking pretty good as well. And this Capricorn right there, that was looking pretty good last night. And look at that bad boy. That looks like it could continue to run up. So look at CAPR right there. It's a biotech company. Not sure what's going on at the moment, but it does look pretty good right there. So you might want to watch that one. And I didn't even write down, I forgot to put down we had a couple penny stocks that we were looking at the other day. What was it? JTAI, it looks like. Hold on, let me pop these in real quick. I forgot to jot them down. JTAI was down a little bit. It's still flat in the basement right there. And then our MOBX, that was the one I was trying to think of. And that was just kind of down flat a little bit. How about that MIMI today there, Doge Mama 9? Remember this one? And there you go. It popped. I knew it was going to. It had that crazy weird look with it, and I meant to mention it there today. I forgot, but it did run up early this morning around 9 a.m. right there. And then even, I mean, it wasn't even bad around when the market opened up. It did pull back some, but not so bad. But there you go for MIMI right there. But yeah, it finally got popping. And we had been looking at that bad boy, and I did see that thing run up, and we'll see if it wants to run up some more. Yeah, I mean, it does look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So keep an eye on MI right there. We were way early to the party on that one, weren't we? And Data Vault right here was pulling back pretty good. Just watch for any more healthy pullback. And how about Beyond Meat? That looks like it's setting up. Remember, we were talking about this. Someone asked about it. And I said that looked like it bottomed out. That could crawl through the MACD, guys. BYND, that does look really good there, especially for a penny stock. And let's see, AMPX. I forgot to write that one down as well. It was back up a little bit today. And that looks like it wants to roll off that MACD, does it not? So we'll see if it wants to right there. AMPX. Oh, what did I type in? AMPX right there. And yeah, it does look like it's trying to. We'll see. It could dip down, though. I'm not going to lie. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow if it's going to start making that move right there to curl back up. And how about Circle right here, CRCL? Now, that's definitely not a penny stock, but it is looking pretty decent right there. So keep an eye on that. And that could continue to run right there. Good old Circle, CRCL. So there you go. A couple other ones that we were looking at before, and I forgot to jot them down. And let's continue to cruise on through our list and see what's going on right here with our Michael Anthony ones. How about Michael Anthony yesterday for the tailgate party? We're literally hopping off. It's like 2 o'clock. We did a 2-hour show. At like 1:59 on the dot, Michael Anthony hops on and says, I didn't know you were doing an early show or something. He's the best, I'm telling you. How money was that, Luis Rodriguez? I mean, you couldn't have been any better timing on that. If you guys were listening yesterday, that was a fun little show right there. And NASCAR all out. How you doing? And the small caps were dead this morning. Only guy making money was that Ross on MNTS. He locked in 10K in about 10 seconds. Nothing else was moving. There you go. Well, that's the way to do it right there. NASCAR all out. MNTS, that mince or momentous. That's what that is. And that did spike up right there. And actually, you know what? We had which one did I say? Lunar right here had this one running up. We had a couple of them running up, as a matter of fact. I nailed the Qs today for like 90% if you didn't see that. And I sold that super early. Holy cow, guys. I think I sold it like right here. And then it ran up way more, but I got in that I think I got in like right around here and got that pop up. It was either here or there. I don't really remember which time it was. I think it was right here. Yeah, I know it was. It was right there, right after 10 a.m. So yeah, I had a nice little. It was a 90% gain right there on the Qs for 0 DTEs. And yeah, I mean, if you read these things the right way, and I could have kept it a lot longer, obviously, right up until like noontime would have been smart, but it's all good. Yeah, you'll make your money on them real fast too. So if you can't find something that like is really, really jumping out at you, look at these things and find like the bot. And obviously, when on a green day like this, when the candles are green, don't try to short it down by no means. And on red days, don't try to take options on the way up. You got to play whatever the way the wind's blowing that day is the way you just got to take it. And that's just the way it works. And the way to do it is just literally find these little bottom opportunities right here. When you see it's bottomed out after it's run up, crosses through, comes back, and is ready to go back up, you got to time it just right. And if you can do it the right way, like right in here, look at that. You knew that was bottoming out right there, guys, to curl up. And like I said, I nailed it right there. and I posted it early. I just sold it a little too early. That was my problem, but it's all good. I mean, I still had a pretty nice run up right there, so not a big deal. Mimi, you're so mad at yourself. I know. I said the same thing today when I saw it because I played it before and it just wasn't moving around, and then I had gotten out of it, and then I had just been watching it and I saw it run up and I went, well, I guess I should have just kept it there because it wasn't bothering anything. And I knew it was going to pop. I mean, I didn't even think it was going to go that high, to be honest. I thought it was going to come up here and get into like the 29-30 cent range. It got up to like 30. What it run up to? It went up to 43 today. So, and that was in the pre-market too. So you would have nailed that Doge Mama 9 right there, right around 9 a.m., right before 9. So yeah, that was a nice one right there. Good old MIMI. That's mint right there too. So there you go, NASCAR all out. We were talking about this one for like a week or so, and I was just a little bit too early on this one, I guess. So we had it all the way like on here watching this thing, trying to get popping, and then today is the day it decided to go there, Doge Mama 9. So what the heck? Let me run through and take a look at them guys as well. And we'll see what's up. I did see TNON today for some reason that was jumping up. That's why I saw it. And there you go. I tell you the story about this one. I don't really need to go into it too much, but this one we watched one morning. Laptop Travel traded it. And Low Country Profits, that was the other person. He's awesome. Low Country Profits. He does listen to the show often. He told me he does. He shot me a message right around the holidays. He was listening live. He listens quite often, as a matter of fact. So Low Country Profits, what's up, dude? And one morning, I tell you guys a story. We saw this the night before, and I was like, yo, that thing's gonna pop, dude. And I didn't have Webull at the time, so these things were running like crazy. It was 4 a.m. when these things just started kind of going wild at 4 a.m. We watched this thing go, what was that, $4, right? Like right around $4. And it went to $125 in 15 minutes. It was wild. And then it came back down to like $15 by the time it was like 7:30 in my E-Trade account. That's what I had it in. And that's by the time I could trade it in that, it was at $15, which was still nice. I remember it went from like 4 to 15, which was good, but they had caught it from like 4 to 125. It was crazy, guys. 15 minutes. And this is the one that I knew that 4 o'clock in the morning was going to be something crazy. Because when I seen that, and I was like, that's just not like a freak accident. That's going to start happening often. And then I think I said it back then, as a matter of fact. And look what happens now at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's absolutely, I mean, Laptop Travel can tell you it does the whole 4 a.m. Warriors. It's absolutely bonkers over there. So here we are. And what was the other one? CCHH right there. Let's see. What is that? CCH Holdings. That looks really good, as a matter of fact. Oh, that was this one right there. I did see that there because it was run up. That was like the big runner today, and that UOKA ran huge today, guys. Remember we were talking about it too. And look at that thing spiked up like a monster there. And when was it? Right at the beginning of the day, I guess. Yeah, look at that thing all the way up there. And so yeah, UOKA. What did it get up to? 421. Look at that, just over the smoke break and curling up. I don't know if you're going to have to look at that tomorrow. But that was a big runner, and that's a UK lodging one. But CCHH, I did see today because I was sitting right there. And it does not look bad, Doge Mom and I could see that running some more right there. CCHH. And I would say that's just going to be a momentum play, if anything. So I would say, yeah, I would say momentum. And in the morning, if you're going to be watching that one right there, CCHH, it was a big runner there today. TNON, you were asking if it could run. What did I even say? Did I even say it was going to do anything? It does look good. It's hitting that resistance. I would have to see that tomorrow. It does look like it wants to go through it and go to that 50, but I can't promise you yet, Doge Mama 9. It just it has that look like it spiked up and came back down, and it could pull back a little bit to try to get set up. It could try to spike up and get up into that 50. I think there's better ones possibly. We'll have to look at it in the morning. Remind me, what is it? I just said it. TONN. TNON right there. We'll have to look at it in the morning. I jotted it down. And Ezra right here, EZRA, Reliance Global Group, and That does look good. I think that one has some potential right there. There's Michael Anthony showing up this evening right around 8:30. There you go, Michael Anthony. And yeah, that EZRA. Only thing is if it hits that MACD right there or that 20, if it hits the 20, you get up to the 34. It's a good jump. But if it hits that MACD and bounces back down tomorrow, that's the only thing, and that's what we have to take a look at for all of these guys. So that is what I was talking about too. Kind of, they don't have to look like they want to go nuts, but they could pop up a little bit more. But I still think we're going to see some pullbacks on some of these, is what it looks like at the moment. And let's see, Michael Anthony, we're just cruising along. Actually, you just showed up at the perfect time. We were just about to look at yours, as a matter of fact. So let's see. First, let's see what ABTC's up to. I didn't look at it today. Still down there in the basement. How about that Pew? That's down there still just kind of hanging out. And these guys, I mean, they're going to really probably need the market to really get running. They're the Trump company ones, but let's take a look and see what BMNR was up to. And again, it does look like Ethereum's trying to get cruising. That doesn't look too bad right there, guys. So you might want to take a look. It could get running again. I would just trade these around real quick, and you could easily play Ethereum as well because they go with Ethereum. SBET, same situation right there. And what about UPXI right here? And that's probably in the same situation. It's in the basement, and it is kind of in the same same spot. Just could get out of the basement. ORBS right there. And this one's, holy cow, this one's been pretty bad too. But then all of them have been. And FGNX right here. This is in the basement as well, and it looks like it's trying to make a little base to get out soon. So maybe crypto is trying to run. We already looked at crypto already, and we'll take another look at it at the end. But let's keep on cruising through. We'll see what else is going on with Michael Anthony's couple right here. AB, what the heck is it? ABEO, that's what it is. ABEO, it wasn't doing anything. That thing's setting up though, guys. I would say that's looking pretty good right there. That D local. And that is it has some resistance above it. UEC right here, uranium energy. That's not looking bad. And again, the same thing I've been talking about for all of them. Let me do that. And trying to curl up. Do they get through that MACD? They have resistance with the 20 definitely up there. I don't even know if they get up there. So yeah, I'm not so sure. They could run up another day, and then we see some pullback. We'll see how the market opens tomorrow, but we'll see what's going on with these guys. And I was explaining that with a bunch of other ones. LW right there. Look at that big spike up, Michael Anthony. Did you get rid of it right there? Probably a good spot to start locking in those profits, hitting that resistance. I don't know if it gets into the top, but I can promise you we had that thing way down here. So at 40, now it's at 50. It ran up $10. I just wasn't patient enough, guys. I did take a win on it, but I just didn't feel like hanging out. But it did go up, and it did continuously go up there. So it was a great call. And we mentioned that one. So there you go, up $10. And your Tiger right there trying to rebound. And again, make sure that you check out the Joe Exotic, the Tiger King interview, and make sure you support Joe Exotic and try to get him out of prison. Anyway, the Tiger here, TIGR, yeah, it's not looking bad. I mean, another situation where it's hitting that 20, and it could roll off the MACD and come back down as well. So there you go with that. And I know you do like your Pepsi and Coca-Cola right here. They are pulling back pretty well at the moment. So see if they do pull back. We'll see if they can stay in the top and jump back up. But they are pulling back right there. Let's take a look at our Jolie's Jams. Rhythm was in a rhythm today, looking pretty good. And here's MSOS looking pretty good as well. So we might have to take a look at these cannabis stocks and see they're getting set up to run the cannabis industry. It looks like it's not doing so bad right there. Look at that Tilray, not so bad. And Canopy Growth over here, they had their earnings just recently. Wasn't that last week, I think? Yeah, the 6th. And so there you go with Canopy Growth right there, CGC. And let's see what else is going on with our Jolie's Jams. And Blink right here was up a little bit, but that's getting set up in a really good spot. So keep an eye on that. And your Sezzle was down a little bit, just getting set up right now. Sterling was jumping up pretty big today. And there you go. And it could continue. Watch that one for some momentum right there. STRL in in the morning. And Rivian right there pulling back. That one looked like it wanted to run up. That could be a healthy pullback, or they're just not getting through the MACD right there, as I've been explaining. So we'll try to look at Rivian tomorrow. We will, and see what it's up to as it's hitting that MACD area. And Symbiotic right here has been jumping up, and that has that resistance, and I don't think it's getting through right there. So that is what they look like, the Joe Lee's jams. We'll take a look at our laptop travel list real quick and see what's going on with these few. And let's see, AUN something A. That's what I wrote. AUNA. That's curling up right there. Could face the same situation, not getting through the MACD, but CWD right there, Caliber goes. That's jumping up. That actually looks pretty good. That could continue its way up tomorrow. And GAMB is gambling.com. And that's just kind of hopping around the day after the Super Bowl. So we'll see if that can get cruising. And what about DraftKings? It was up a little bit right there today. And how about that? And Budweiser was up a hair, but that had been running up at the moment. So there you go with them. And GTIM, GTIM, we looked at that the other day, I think yesterday or whatever. And it spiked up today and then did pull back. And HELP right here is it doesn't need any help. It doesn't look like. It looks like it's trying to curl up on its own right there. And let's see what our loop is up to. That looks like it's about to loop right back up. So keep an eye on our HOUR, looking pretty good. LFMD, Life MD Inc. And that's hitting the 20. We'd have to look at that one right there. And here is your NMTC. We had Dave, the CEO, on the small cap show today, Neuro One Medical Technologies. And this one is looking pretty good right there. It is curling up. And I think that one's going to be a solid one. And RNAC, let's see what that's doing right here. Oh, yeah, that one's going to get bottomed out relatively soon. It's trying to anyway. It could pull back a little bit, but it's trying to get bottomed out. And your SG right there, Sweet Green, that's a restaurant in New Jersey, in the USA. I don't think they have any in New Jersey. I have no idea, but that looks like it's kind of pulling back. They have earnings coming up later on. And let's see what TACT is doing. That Transact, it says Transact Technologies. That's not looking so bad. That could get cruising right there. And let's see what else is going on with WAI, and that is Top King or something, right? Top King win right there, and that is up 3 cents, and that does not look bad. If that rolls off the MACD, that'll certainly run right there, so not so bad for WAI. Keep an eye on it for that. That's for sure. And HITI, what's that up to? That high tide right there, that's not looking too bad. And that's a pharmaceutical, and they do they have the Cabana store. Holy cow. I think I went into these when I was in Canada, as a matter of fact, the High Tide, the company. So I was cruising through a couple of them. But anyway, not looking too bad for HITI. So there you go for that one, Michael Anthony. And let's see, that was your laptop travel list, your Jolie's Jams. Let's go through our Spy Mag 7 and all them good guys and see what's going on. Then I'll see what you guys want to look at and see what NASCAR All Out and Doge Mama 9 and Janica and everybody else and Zach and all of you guys. I saw Consistency Spike had a few of them up there. And, of course, Michael Anthony, he has a few. But we'll see what NASCAR All Out wants to see, and we'll go through everything. So give me a moment. We'll go through it all. Laptop travel, energy, and there's support stocks, uranium, nuclear, rare earth stocks, and precious metals are all trying to get set up right there. I agree. I think the nuclear ones look pretty good. I won't lie. They look at that NKLR right there, Oklo down in the after hours, but running up. That looks really good right there. SMR. That looks pretty decent too. So I do think they look pretty good. And then your USAR right there, your USA Rare Earths, not looking too bad. We just got to see if it completely gets curled up. We'll be looking at it in the morning. So let's go ahead, take a look at that SPY and all them other guys, because your SPY finished up right there. And it looks really good. I was saying it this morning, and then it got cruising. And so did the Qs. And even the IWM wasn't too bad there, but the Q's right there running up in IWM, not looking so bad. So keep an eye on them three. The indices, they're not looking so bad going into tomorrow. Apple was a red apple right there. It was pulling back, but looks like it will come back down into that 50 area. I don't know if it'll get back down there. We'll see how that 20 reacts if it really wants to curl up and move it, but I'll take a look at it tomorrow. And of course, AMZN. What is this one? That's your Amazon ETF right there. And look at that bad boy way down. But AMZN is Amazon right there. And look at that bad boy. It's way down. And that will get set up. Just let it set up right there. And then we'll have to look at it tomorrow. So, yeah, Amazon right there. Let's take a look at that tomorrow. You would think that would look a little better, but it did miss its earnings or whatever happened to its earnings, and it did get smacked down there. So, it'll be a good opportunity relatively soon. Google right here trying to recover, and another one I'm not so sure if it's exactly ready to move yet. You can see that 20 coming down on it. So you got to keep an eye on Google. You might get a better dip opportunity. Meta was ripping up there today, and Meta could get curled up and running. So keep an eye on that one. That could be a good momentum play right there tomorrow. So META, not so bad. And let's see what else is going on with Microsoft. That wasn't so bad either, MSFT. And that was running up pretty good, and that could continue its way. So Meta and Microsoft both looking pretty decent. The video is running up as well today and hitting some resistance. We'll have to see what it looks like tomorrow. So that's what they look like. And let's see, of course, what Tesla was doing right here. How to close. It did close green. It's trying to curl up. And that's another one. It could run up a little bit, but then bounce down some. So just beware of that with Tesla. And that is your Mag 7 SPY Qs, indices, all them good guys. And let's keep going through our list and see what's going on. And then we'll jump over to the good old stream and see what's going on over there. And I'll take a look and see whatever you guys want to take a look at. But AMC pulling back right there. And GameStop was as well. Is that a little dip and rip look like it wants to roll off the MACD? Perhaps it is. It doesn't look too bad. And again, we'll see what the market conditions do tomorrow. Chewy right there was still trying to set up. And so is Unity was running up there. Unity not looking so bad. And again, I mean, that has some room to run, guys. I must say, we were saying it looks good, but also Chewy was looking good too. And that one didn't get moving right there. It did pull back some. Could be a little healthy, but does look like it's pulling back. But Unity not looking so bad right there for the letter U. So keep an eye on that one. Could be pretty good to run up right there. Let me just jot that down. And Netflix right here. What was that up to, Janica? That was down. Oh, that's pulling back some more. Oh, that's trying to make a base right there. Let me see. It is trying to make a base right there, but I'm not so sure about Netflix. If it could pull back and level down a little bit, unless they get some good catalyst or something goes on. Warner Brothers right here, still kind of hanging out up there. It does look like that's a little healthy pullback as well. And yeah, I'd have to look at them as well right there. And PSK, is that what it was? PSKY, is that what it was? I forget. Yeah, Paramount. There you go. PSKY. Ooh, that's it's still in a bearish trend, but when it gets turned back around, it'll look pretty good. I'd probably wait for its earnings right there, and that's at the end of the month. We'll see if it can get out of that basement, crawl through the MACD, but there's Paramount. You guys can keep an eye on that if you like that one right there. And let's continue going through and see what our semiconductors are doing, because AVGO right there has been running up, hit the old 50, not looking so bad, but MU, a little bit of pullback and could continue its way down right there for MU. And again, we'll see what the market conditions are doing tomorrow, but TSM hitting that resistance, and that could come back down. So the market's kind of jumping around. You just got to take advantage of it. You definitely got to pick the individual ones that are really set up, and you guys know we pick them out pretty well. And I'll put the night note out in the Discord. We went through pretty much everything. We're going to finish up here, see what you guys want to look at. But yeah, I pointed out the ones that were looking pretty good right now. And SMCI not bad right there. Look at that 20 and 50 trying to meet up, and that doesn't have a bad look. So you might want to keep an eye on that one to get set up right there, SMCI. So keep an eye on that. And let me see what AMD is up to over here, because it was running. AMD not looking so bad. And again, could continue to run up a little bit, but also not make it through to like the 20 to and the MACD right there. So that we're gonna keep an eye on, and we'll keep an eye on or keep a lookout and see if the AMD wants to get cruising, and some of these other ones as well that we've been talking about. QCOM right here up a little bit, and that doesn't look so bad either, but the same situation. So I think we're definitely going to be readdressing these guys in the morning. Snowflake could be a good one, guys. SNOW. I know we played it not long ago, and it had been coming down. It looks like Snow wants to go back up right now. And what about PayPal at the moment? That doesn't look bad today. So I would say let's keep an eye on good old PayPal. And again, we might just get a curl up here. Maybe it doesn't go crazy, but that curl up could be big because just for the simple fact that it's beaten down so much. So you're going to get some movement on it, especially if you're in at the very bottom like we would be right there. So PayPal, keep an eye on. I'll be watching that. Intel right there just kind of bouncing around. It is trying to set up, but we'd have to look at it tomorrow and see what it wants to do. Here is Dell. It's down a little bit, but it's sitting on that trend line. I'm telling you, that thing does look pretty good for whatever reason. And IBM was pulling back there today, but yeah, it's under the MACD. We'd have to look at IBM. I think Dell looks a little bit better out of them guys, and I think it was like I said, it looks like it wants to run right there. Palantir trying to bounce up, but has some great resistance above it. And there you go. How about our man right there, Joseph Levy? How are you? He said, and yes, I'm in some pain. So he's in pain. So he was listening to the show there. And how are you, Joseph Levy? And I did read everybody your Facebook post that you had out there and told everybody how you're doing. But go ahead and post whatever you like up there, and I'll read it for you. So hope you're feeling a little bit better. And he is still in the hospital, that's for sure. And when you get out, are they going to release you tomorrow, or are you going to stay in an extra day? I wasn't sure about that, but yeah, you have a speedy recovery, that's for sure. And let us know. You can stay on, hang out the entire night, and chit chat with us. You're getting out tomorrow. Well, that's good to hear. So everything seems to have gone pretty well then, it sounds like. So glad to hear that, Joseph Levy. And yeah, hang out with us and let the time fly by at the hospital. And we'll be hanging out here for a little longer looking at everything. So yeah, hopefully everything went smooth. You get out there tomorrow and sit back and relax. And people are your roommate, and you probably have a room to yourself now. They used to have like roommates. Now you just get like your own room when you go to hospitals like that. But you imagine he's sitting there and he's just like, I'm just saying his name, and he's like, person sitting there listening, like, what the hell are you listening to, dude? Are they talking to you? He's like, yeah, they're talking to me, dude. And so yeah, Joseph Levy, you get well there. And we were all thinking about you. So glad the surgery went well, and it sounds like you will be out tomorrow. So good for that. And keep us posted, obviously. And Palantir, I'll keep you posted with everything else. You want to see what Galt looks like? It's trying to, I told it to get moving for you there. So hopefully Galt will start getting set up and get running there for you, Joseph Levy. And we'll be keeping an eye on that there. So let's keep on cruising right through. And we were at, I forget, Palantir, because that was up today. And it is hitting some resistance. So again, I'll have to look at it tomorrow. It could curl up and not get through the MACD, as I've been talking about a lot of them right now. And Sophie's not too bad, getting out of the basement right there in the same situation. Might curl up some more, and then that'll be a nice pullback if it hits the MACD. Mara looks pretty decent, I must say, but that's all going to rely on crypto and Bitcoin. So we'll look at these and we'll go back and look at crypto and see what it looks like again. Look at Riot right there. Not looking so bad at the moment. CleanSpark was up a little bit and looking pretty good too. And there is MicroStrategy jumping up some more. So interesting look right there. We'll just take a look because Hood was up a little bit too. And Coinbase was up a little bit as well. And that's trying to get out of the basement. And look at Webull right here. That's looking pretty good. So you may see these guys all start really cruising right there. And let's take a look and see, because Bitcoin's back at 70K. And again, it's just kind of hanging out here. Is it going to make a base and get moving up and curl up? It looks like it's trying to curl up. Does it go through the MACD when it does it? There's a lot of questions here, guys. So again, I think it's going to be pretty bottomed out, but I can't say that it's definitely bottomed out and you don't level down a little bit or even run up and then have a nice little dip. So they're it could happen. I'm not completely sold that it's ready to go blasting off. I think you'll see some pops and then you'll see some dips. So take it for the pop ups and sell them, lock in some profits, and then re enter on the nice dip so you can rinse and repeat as it goes up. That's my suggestion for that. So that is what crypto looks like at the moment. And let's continue to go through right here and see what space was up to today. It was up a little bit more and trying to roll up as well. And then your Boeing right here was up too. And that looks really bullish. That's getting set up. Just watch for any dip opportunities. Obviously, DJT down a little bit. Looks like it's going to pull back, but Nike right here. Oh, that's not Nike, and that's not. What am I typing in? I don't know why I keep putting an R, but Nike was down, and looks like it wants to pull back a little bit more right there. At Lulu right there looks pretty damn good, I must say. Look at that thing trying to curl up. So I don't know what's up with Lulu, but they don't have earnings or anything coming up, it doesn't look like. And that does look pretty good right there. And let's see what else is going on. With McDonald's was back down. And again, the market's trying to run. McDonald's doesn't like to run when the market does, that's for sure. And Disney right here pulling back Luis Rodriguez. And again, it could stay under that MACD and just bounce around. Disney, I meant to say Oxy, we were talking about. And that's been continuing its way up and not looking bad. And then, of course, your DXYZ with the SpaceX still up and looking really good. So keep an eye on that right there because it is looking nice. And I would say DXYZ. And that's why some of these other ones like Lunar and stuff, what did Elon say? He was going to move the stuff from the Mars to the moon or something. I don't even know. Ben told me. I forget what that even said. But something like that sparked them all. And there you go. That is what our list looks like. And let's see. Joseph Levy, they were only supposed to do a fusion at the L4 and L5, but because of his MRI of the T-spine, he also did a micro decompression surgery on T9 and T10 at the same time. So he banged out two of them, so that increased the surgery length. But he said the spinal cord needs to be decompressed sooner rather than later. So he was getting it done regardless, and they might as well knock them both out at one time instead of having to go in there and get two different preps. It kind of reduces things and the risk and things like that. So there you are, and glad things are going to go well for you there. Hopefully, Joseph Levy. So yeah, there you are. And here, let me cruise right through and see what's going on in our stream right here, Janica. So Janica's hanging out. I was having a brain fart. I couldn't even think of her name earlier. But yeah, Janica's hanging out. That's for sure. She was the first person right at 8 p.m. She was like, yo, I'm here. And AppLovin, we talked about it, was cruising along. It's still moving pretty big in the after hours, too. Look at that thing. You can keep an eye on that. J-Nug was running up and gold looking pretty good right there, but it is hitting that resistance. So look at it pulling back a little bit in the after hours. This is what I was kind of talking about. Silver, same situation, guys. So you just want to keep an eye on these things. Look at Nug kind of having a little bit of pullback. They did run up nice today. I'm not going to lie. And they do look really good to run up, especially that J-Nug. But you're having that pullback, and I'm telling you, they're hitting these 20s. They could pull back and then set back up. Just beware of that. That's what I was looking at. And it's kind of happening all over. So there you go with your gold and silver and REMX. That one doesn't look too bad. And again, could run up there, and we'll have to see what it's exactly going to do. And let's see what light is up to. That's been a bright light, and look at that thing right into the top right there. Holy cow! And it doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little momentum. CRDO running up there some today. Credo Technology, a semiconductor, and Applied Digital Science or Corp or whatever. Look at that bad boy curling up, getting cruising, and not looking bad. So. APLD not looking bad right there to try to continue its way up. And TerraWolf, that was running up today. We did see that. As a matter of fact, that could continue its way up right there tomorrow if you want to keep an eye on TerraWolf. That looks pretty good. What about that TEM right here? Tempest AI. Oh, that got beat down. And again, could have a little curl up, run up, and catch the bounce up and then play it accordingly like that. Marvell, we were talking about hitting some resistance. It does look really good. I can't promise you it goes through, but chances are it should go through right there, the way that momentum looks for Marvell. That these things could pull back. Viking, not looking bad. It should run up right there. That has earnings coming up. February 11th, which is Wednesday, that is. I have a calendar right there now, so I can tell. So yeah, that's Wednesday. You talked about Poet last night. That was running up some today. I did see it, and it does look pretty healthy. Again, this market looks really good. It just has a weird look about it. So we'll have to see tomorrow. Look at that core weave. They might, I think they do run up some more tomorrow, to be honest with you. But then we're gonna have to really readdress everything and see what's happening. And yeah, so make sure you're locking in some profits just in case that's the situation right there. PAAS, Pan American Silver Corp. That doesn't look too bad, though. Look at that bad boy in silver I was just looking at. And again, running up, little pullback. It doesn't tell me exactly it wants to go up. USAR, same situation right there. It does look really healthy trying to curl up. And of course, your critical metals right there we were talking about, not looking bad. And they're all in the same situation. And how about that Watt right there? And Ariel was talking about this a couple weeks ago. Remember Laptop Travel on the old small cap show, which we had today. It was a good one. And we also had the old CEO of NMTC on there today. But yeah, Watt, not a bad one right there from Ariel. So there you go. And he did mention that one. I don't remember where the heck it was, but it was like 2 weeks ago. So it should be up by now. And that there you go. And the futures were flat. Employment numbers come out on Wednesday. The initial jobless claims and home sales on Thursday. And then, of course, our January CPI on Friday. So that's going to be interesting. Consistency spike. And KXIN, you're saying, is above the VWAP right there. That's a auto and truck dealership in China. And let's see. Oh, that one is a good penny one, beat down a little bit right there. Let me see right here what it really looks like. KXIN. It's trying. It's not exactly ready, and you could have a little more pullback, but I'm definitely going to add it to this penny stock list right here. Consistency spike, I think, within the next few days. Although, you know what? Today is what? Tuesday, Monday. So, it's the beginning of the week. So, yeah, I think possibly by the end of the week, that could get set up. Remember, Monday is going to be President's Days, guys. So, the market's closed Monday. We have a 3-day weekend coming up. So, just remember that and just take that into consideration right now. Next Monday, the market will be closed. So we'll do our Sunday night show on Monday night. We won't do a Sunday night show, obviously, because there won't be anything to be going over first Monday, since the market will be closed there for President's Day. So just keep that in mind, everybody, giving you guys a little heads up right there. And Titty Me Sam right there, and I can't spell it if I could. Holy cow. I'll try to there. Luis Rodriguez. It was jumping up. It's still on the top. It's been running up right there. So just be careful. I'd be locking in some profits. You know me. And MBTX right there. Nanobiotics. That looks pretty good. Who mentioned that? Luis Rodriguez. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. Keep an eye on that. Clean Spark not looking so bad today either. So you can definitely watch that one. And small caps were dead this morning. And we were talking about that dude Ross. What's Ross's last name? I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of it. Ross from Warrior Trading, right? I can't think of his last name, but yeah, he's a good dude. I don't watch him that often. I check out his videos every once in a while here and there. He's a good dude. Ross, I can't think of his last name. I know Laptop Travel always tells me. Anyway, but yeah, he's solid, that dude. He's always on point. And so there you go. And let me see. Michael Anthony, he definitely knows how to make an entrance. Luis Rodriguez yesterday, like I said, just as we were hopping off the show, I mean, 2 hours later, Michael Anthony's like, yo, guys, what's up? Are you doing an early show? You should be hanging out. Ross Cameron, that's his name. Thank you, NASCAR. All out. You already said it for me. So that was his last name, Cameron. It's just sad, though. The only quick spike was that MMTS, and that dude Ross you were talking about jumped in. Other than being a guru live streaming the thousands of traders, it was impossible. That's not necessarily true. NASCAR all out. If you're in our Discord, we do live trading every morning. We gave you 2 good poppers that you could have just had up and to the right all day, and that was Lunar right here was a beauty. Look at that, and Light Path was a beauty. LT. What the hell is Light Path? LPTH, that's what it is. And there you go. And that was up and to the right for almost the entire day right there. So we gave them two out today in the Discord live this morning before the market even opened. They were our top trade ideas. And yeah, I was up I traded the lunar one today, and then I traded the Qs as well. But yeah, that was there was plenty. There's always something, I think, NASCAR all out. So yeah, if you're not in our Discord and you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. And we give out top picks of the day, and only like a couple of them, but we also put them in order what our number one pick is, and also we try to give what our targets are, and they hit them today. That's for sure. They usually do. I mean, we're pretty accurate on that. Ben's really good at that, and I come in and just kind of take the list and tell you what I think is my favorite one, and then I play it, and then it goes up, and then I get out, and then you lock in profits, and there you go. I posted it today. All you had to do was get in and buy a lunar and sit back and kick your feet up with some options. What were they up like? I forget what they were up. I posted earlier, but yeah, NASCAR all out. So that was definitely going down today, this morning, and all morning there. So we'll play the market and play it accordingly, no matter what. If it wants to go down, we'll take the puts down. If it wants to go up, we'll find the ones that want to go up, and I have no problem with that. But Ross is really good, Ross Cameron. So yeah, it's cool. You checking him out as well. But yeah, we do it all the time in the Discord every single day, I promise you. And let's see what else is going on. RX, and yeah, everybody's on there. Ask Sam and Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez, tons of people in here that are listening. They're all in there trading. Sam gives out ideas, and I'm telling you, we do like a collective thing after we give out the old the top picks of the day, and they're starting to move. Then we sit there and just trade together for a good hour, and people give their ideas, and we check them out. And yeah, so we're all about it, and everybody has a good view, good look. Izzy's always giving out good stuff. There's so many great people. Progressive G, and yeah, so many guys. Ross in there. Yosef's amazing, and Sam, like I said. So yeah, great people, and we have a good old time in there. Rhett's great with the cues. So yeah, we have we always do it all kinds of different ways as well. So if you're interested in NASCAR all out, just shoot me a DM. I'll tell you about the old Discord and all about it. And RXRX right here. Let's see what that recursion pharmaceuticals is up to. Another one hitting that resistance right there. I can't even tell what that wants to do, Luis Rodriguez. And Robin Hood not looking bad, we must say. And I know, how about that Mimi right here? I mean, I was super too early, huh? Super too early. And so yeah, there you go. I think we originally saw it popping up here, and then it did pull back a little bit, and then we reevaluated it. But today it just ran up there, and that did run right there. We did take a look at that CCHH that was popping up, and I said check that out in the morning. That could be a good momentum play. And TNON right there, that has an interesting look, but it's hitting the MAC or the 20 right there, not the MACD. It's about that the MACD, but it's hitting the 20 right there. So we'll have to see this Ezra one, EZRA, Reliance Global Group. That's not looking too bad. That could continue to run right there. Doge Mama 9, we did take a look at them. And there were a lot of sub 50-cent stocks moving 2 weeks ago. It was Singapore Asia tickers, multi-Holton midday. I do remember some of them had some huge moves. Then it switched to Class B tickers running early pre-market. That's the thing, NASCAR all out. You got to constantly pivot. And that's kind of what we do really well on this show and in the Discord. You guys know I'm probably the master of pivoting. You guys probably know that by now. And if it's going to be moving, I'm going to be seeing it, and I'm going to be early on it. As you could tell, look at Mimi. I mean, you want to know who's always early on every single call? That would be this guy over here. We try to time them out perfectly, to be honest, but you can't be perfect with every one of them, especially the amount that we look at. That's why I try to single out the ones that I really like, and try to take the quality ones over the quantity, and just try to trade them as well as you can and make the best out of the most amount that you can on them. But yeah, you do see the themes, and you do have to pivot around. That is for sure. We do it very, very often. So Pay attention if you. I know you've listened to the show before, NASCAR All Out, but we do it. We do it every single night on here at 8 p.m. That's when it starts, and then we do it every morning at 7 a.m. So we do the pre-market, and then we do the late night, and we just rock and roll through the entire market, know exactly what's going on at all times, because you always do. There's just constant information, information overload, to be honest. And I don't even look at the news. You guys know I look at zero news. I learned more about the news just day trading with Ben, because he's up on top of everything, and I just sit there and talk to him. So I learn about things, but yeah, I'm not looking at the news. You guys know that. I'm looking at stock charts all day, and but there's always opportunities, and we pick them out. So yeah, NASCAR All Out, there you are. But yeah, be sure to and what did you say? Yeah, DGICB. We'll check that out in 1 second. Let's see the star. But yeah, there's always some opportunities going on. Thar, not bad. That one could get rolling off the MACD. Look at that one, NASCAR All Out. That looks pretty good to get set up. THAR right there, not too bad. And that one looks like it's going to be an OTC, I think, with all them letters, DGICB. Yeah, that's definitely. Oh no, it's not. It's not an OCC, or is it? Let me see. Hold on. DGICB. Yeah, it doesn't come up. DGICA. Oh wait, they have an A and a B, I guess. Is it the same name of the company? Dongle. Yeah. All right. Well, they have an A and a B, I guess. So there you go. And that's on your radar for 4 a.m. Didn't happen today, but squeezed to 30 after hours on Friday. And it's a Class B ticker. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Like, I know there's Class A's right here, and then Class B's, obviously. You'll get them kind of spike ups clearly in like them pre-market hours. It likes to do that sometimes. That one right now, does it look like it's going to spike up again like that? It looks like it could run. I don't know if you get that huge spike on it again. I'd have to look at that in the morning. OTCers are a little different. I'm just trying to get a good feel for it, but that just looked like some kind of crazy spike up. I'm not sure what happened there, to be honest with you. And so yeah, there you are with that. TIGR, PAGS, and UUU up and away, according to Michael Anthony, guys. So he thinks the Tigers are going to break out and go running. It looks pretty good. PAGS. Let's see what that PAGS is doing. He's mentioned this one before. That software company. That's looking good. Now that has a pretty tight little curl up. That could get moving. And of course, his universal safety products. Look at that big spike up. I think we clicked on it earlier. Earlier in the night, and there you go. It did run up to that resistance. It is curling up, but I'm afraid it doesn't get through that MACD right there. So we'll be watching that UUUU and the entire market for that factor, because even the QQQs right there, they have resistance, and again, everything has that look. Except the SPY looks pretty damn good, I must say, but that can only run so much, obviously. So there you go, and those you can short, I guess. Michael Anthony was saying Oracle had an upgrade. Oracle we looked at earlier, and it was cruising along right there, not looking too bad. And a list of all Class B shares that have gone crazy recently. That Fat BB, we were looking at that before that went crazy. Kelly B, we had seen that too. And I forget what LBY, whatever it is. LB, I don't know if we were looking at this one. I'm not even sure what that is. LBTYB, Liberty Global. I don't think we were looking at that, but I know we saw this Kelly B one. And CRDB, I'm not familiar with that one right there. I have no idea what that is, but right here, Crawford Company. Didn't you mention that recently? Laptop Travel. He could have mentioned that one. Yeah, I know. That one we definitely were early for. And a lot of times, Laptop Travel puts these guys on his Laptop Travel list because he's looking at these low floaters, and that's what these guys are. They're low floaters generally that get cruising. So there you are, NASCAR All Out. But yeah, we were definitely on some of them before they even ran. And again, I don't really Laptop Travel now is them better than I do anymore. I used to be, obviously, I crushed the penny stocks before. You guys know. I mean, nobody was calling more 100%ers than I did. I just do it in the options now, guys. So I just switched my routine and took 100%ers from penny stocks, and now I do it with options on the daily. But yeah, the penny stocks, they run too fast, too early for me. It's just too crazy and wild. I'll jump in them just like that Mimi right there. It's like almost too hard for me to track it down. Whereas like these bigger ones, I can just easily do it. I can look at it, time it out easily. And obviously, if I see the opportunity with a small cap or a penny, I'm going to get into it. Don't get me wrong. I just have to know that it's not going to pop at 4 a.m. and, all these kind of crazy things, and it's not going to reverse split, this, that. And I've been just caught in too many crazy situations with penny stocks throughout the years. Of all the years I've been doing it, has been pretty wild. I'm fortunate. I had done very, very well with penny stocks. I have to say I did really well. And then they all changed around, and then I got hit in the head too. So my life kind of changed, but the penny stock game completely changed as well. And so that's why we look at them. I enjoy them. I love them. You guys know I'll never stop looking at them, but I trade, I think, more options now. You guys can see clearly. I get into the options, and again, I didn't realize over a year ago when I first taught myself how to do options, I never knew that you could just smash options calls for over 100% on the daily, like as easy as it is. I had no idea. I thought the only way you could do that was with penny stocks and call these 100%ers and these huge gains. And I was so out of it, out of like the knowing what options could really do. I had no idea. And again, I'm self-taught. Everything I've ever done in the market, guys, I've taught myself, including options. And I've done it. I did that right when I was doing these shows, live doing them. I was learning and teaching myself how to do it. So, yeah, I don't have a real financial background or anything and had no idea. So I wasn't really familiar with options or how they worked or anything. I was always under the assumption that, like, you didn't want to mess with them because you could, like, it was like infinite amounts of loss, but that's just shortened. That's not the same thing as having a put. And I didn't even understand that before. So again, a lot of things I didn't understand, and it just scared me away. And of course, I was just rocking and rolling with penny stocks, but that all changed. I taught myself how to trade options and realized that I could call 100% options every day too. And then I'm like, well, what's the heck's the difference? And these are way easier. And I don't have to get up at 4 a.m. because the options only go from 9:30 to 4 p.m. anyway. So that's all you can trade them. And we do really well with them. But again, I will trade some penny stocks as well. Don't get me wrong, but just a little info right there and a little background, NASCAR all out, and anybody else that's just tuning in and not familiar. So just letting you guys know. But yeah, Laptop Travel kind of handles that now, but he's all over them bad boys. He scans for him, he looks for him, and that's what that Laptop Travel list that we go through. I guarantee, I know some of them were on there like way before they popped. So if you're interested in them NASCAR all out, pay attention to the show. And Laptop Travel gives me his list every single night. And I'm telling you, they're low floaters, they're beauties, they're set up. You just got to kind of time them out. And again, there's only so many that you can play. So if that's your game, you're perfect right there. And definitely listen to the show. That's what we do. I try to make it useful for everybody in every kind of trading style and anything that anybody wants to get into. That's why we just do a huge market review, including crypto and anything that basically has a chart. We even look at poly market. I mean, we crush poly market charts. This one don't have the chart up. But anyway, I was just looking at it because of the odds were cheap and or real low, and I saw somebody had posted that somebody put like some huge amount of money that there was going to be a strike, and I was looking to see if I could find the actual chart to see if it looked like anything was happening, but I didn't see anything. And I was looking at LMT and all them, and I didn't see anything either. But anyway, yeah, so that's what we do all the time there, NASCAR all out. So yeah, if you're interested or anybody else, like I said, feel free to shoot me a message at any time. And RD, what is it? RDIB, is that one going to be an OTCer? Yeah, it looks like these guys are like OTCers, and you get these quick spike ups on them, and yeah, they just fly up. I'm guessing it didn't say it was an OTC. It just says it's a stock. I don't know. Is it an OTC? I don't think it is. I have no idea. It wasn't coming up. And sometimes when they don't come up on here, I don't really mess with them too much. But Yeah, I mean, you're just looking at different things that, like I said, we go through the entire market, so we definitely see them things. So if that's what you really like to look at, your things like the laptop travel list right there that we go through and take your notes. And but yeah, I mean, I gave out this one way before it even popped, so it was so early. Like I said, we're always too early to be complete. We got to try to time them out better. Again, I saw it down here, you were still safe. So even if you bought it and it dipped down hard, you could have just like went nuts and bought more and got your average down. And then today you would have made your money back. And it wasn't even that long. I mean, look how many days: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a week or less than 2 weeks right there. I know that I did it. I had tried. I played it, and I think I sold it up. It went up, and it was like it just wasn't looking perfect just yet. Had these red candles, but there you go. I mean, we definitely saw something, and it got ripping there today. And what did it announce? Mint announces non-binding MOU for HK 10 million funded joint venture with Rice Robotics to develop and expand AI robotic solutions across Asia. Yeah, like I had no idea that's going to happen, but I told you that thing was going to pop. Doge Mom and I knows and everybody else. And yeah, that's what we kind of do here. NASCAR all out and everybody else just tuning in or just kind of found our show right here. So we do this every single day and just pick these bad boys out. So yeah, if anytime you want to come on NASCAR all out, I look at the stream too, and I'll make it very interactive, and you can ask questions, and I go through all the stock tickers, and we always talk to Michael Anthony, so we'll be hanging out with him. And he always likes to hop on right at the end of the show, except for today. He was super early, and then he did it for our tailgate party the other day. I'm telling you, at like 2 o'clock on the dot, Michael Anthony hops on after we had just been on from noon, and he wanted to party. Michael Anthony was ready to have a tailgate party at 2 o'clock after we just had a 2 hour show. So anyway, Michael Anthony are the greatest. You think UEC will dip to at least 14 right there, so you're not liking the uranium plays, huh? And honestly, I think you could be right. I think you do hit the 20, Michael Anthony, and pull back. That's what I keep seeing on everything. So I keep seeing that. We'll see how it plays out tomorrow. And obviously, I'll keep you guys posted. But I kind of see that too. And that's what I've been kind of warning you guys about all this evening and kind of last night. It just looks like it wants to do that. It just doesn't look exactly ready yet. For this to curl up and get crazy, I could be wrong, and it could look better, way better tomorrow. And obviously, I can readjust what I think, but just at the moment, I'm telling you what it looks like. So let's keep cruising right here. You rejected at 610 right there. Yeah, well, it certainly did. It certainly did get rejected, but that is a good resistance right there. So even if you get back into the fives and keep moving, that's pretty nice right there. And even Pepsi and Coca-Cola were both down there today. We did see that. And we'll see if they want to stay in the top right there. One is Coke's earnings are coming up. And they were, what did I say the 10th was? Tomorrow. So Coca-Cola has earnings tomorrow. What do you think about their earnings, Michael Anthony? How about that? I'm not sure. You told us about good old Tiger, NHITI, High Tide. We were talking about that. SG keep taking a loss, that to stay. This is how Michael Anthony. I don't know what he says, but he says something. Sweet green right here. Were we ever looking at that? I don't remember. Were we looking at sweet green? I have no idea. I kind of remember looking at it, but again, that could have been on the laptop travel list, and then we just look for these quick pop-ups. But anyway, pot stock has over 100 stores. You think High Tide, like I said, I'm pretty sure I visited one of their stores in Canada, to be honest with you. Cabana, I remember it. I think I even registered for their thing. And so yeah, they have a footprint of 219 locations and grants and all that good stuff. So there you go. That's High Tide right there. And there you go, Michael Anthony. You know all about that store and that sector, I'm sure. And let's see, my laptop travel was saying energy and their support stocks like uranium, nuclear rare earths, and stocks and precious metals. And yep, Class B shares resetting has been a thing. So there you go. See, laptop travels all over that kind of thing there. NASCAR all out. I just look at charts. So if the chart grabs my attention, I'll be looking at it. But them ones sometimes don't come across my radar. And but But yeah, if Laptop Travel puts it on his list, then we definitely look at it. And I know he puts a lot of them on those lists. And let's see, are you talking about Goro here, Michael Anthony? We were just trading that the other day, as a matter of fact, me and Laptop Travel. There you go, Laptop Travel. That does look good, though. So maybe gold is looking like a lot better. I know it was up today. It did look healthy, and it does. It looks like it wants to roll. It has these pullbacks. We have to see tomorrow. It's kind of crazy, these jump arounds. But that looks really healthy right there, I must say. And that Goro looks real good. And we did hit some option calls on that not long ago. Laptop Travel mentioned it, and it looked good. I jumped in, and boom, it went right up there. So there you go, Michael Anthony. How do you like that story? Because that happened. NG right here, Nova Gold Resources is another gold one. That one's looking pretty good. And I'm going to guess TRX is a gold one in Canada as well. And that looks really good right there. So you can keep an eye on TRX. That's another gold one right there. So how about that? Goro is a top pick of his a couple weeks ago. That's what I was just saying, Laptop Travel. So if I would have just read down one line, I would have saved myself a couple breaths. But anyway, that's what I was saying. And we did just trade that bad boy and locked in some profits. And Janica, can we look at IBRX? Of course we can. IBRX right here. What is that? Immunity Bio. Oh, look at that bad boy. That looks pretty good too, I must say. Where'd you find this at? I didn't even see that thing running around. That looks really good. Laptop Travel, you might want to be watching that thing for 4 a.m. Janica, I think that's looking really good. I got to write that down on my list for tomorrow. Here, let me write it down here so I remember. IBRX looking good. I would say take a look at that in the morning for sure. That could continue up, and that could run up into like the 780s right there, guys. That's not looking bad. Look at it finishing up there pretty strong. And it does look like it wants to. I mean, every single chart looks like it wants to continue up tomorrow. So I can't say that it doesn't there, Janica. So, yeah, I would say looking good. We have to keep an eye on that one for sure. PAVM, PavMed right here. You mentioned that this morning or today, this afternoon on the small cap show, and I was checking it out there. It wasn't looking too bad right now. Laptop Travel. So, yeah, PavMed is looking pretty good as well. What did I talk about? I don't even remember. Let me get my paperwork out over here. I mentioned good old Canada. Well, remember last week I mentioned AMC, and just remember what that did. That ran right up. Remember that one? And last week I also mentioned JetBlue, and remember what that did? Ran straight up right there. And this week I mentioned Can-Am right here. You might want to keep an eye on that. It's going into its earnings. And DataVolt right there. That did pull back today. And like I said, I was looking for that for the good old dips. Bitfarms is another one, guys. If you like the old crypto plays, look at that setup right there. Looking pretty good for Bitfarms. So keep an eye on that. So there you go. That was what I gave out today. So there you are. And we were talking to Joseph Levy right there, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery. That's for sure. Doge Mama 9 said, get well. And sorry you're in pain. Yeah, that's a pretty big surgery you just had. And they did 2 surgeries at one time. I mean, they just went in and extended the surgery just because of his MRI. He's all messed up, Joseph Levy. And like I said, he's a military veteran that got jammed up in like a you were in Iraq or Afghanistan? I forget where you were, but you were definitely overseas. And yeah, he got smashed up, that's for sure. And he got put in a pretty bad situation, and they couldn't do anything about it. And he's lucky he's alive, to be honest with you. So yeah, he was told what happened, and he got pretty jacked up, including a couple of his military veteran buddies too. They all got pretty banged up there in a situation. He was telling us about it. So anyway, we're thinking about you there, Joseph Levy, and hopefully everything goes according to plan and you're getting better there. Kathy Wood, the ARC's buying 43 million of Google right there. So holy cow, she just pulled out she just dumped up the old dump truck and was like, yo guys, dump it and grab some Google right here. I'm putting the cash out. We want Google. It is looking pretty good. It is setting up there. So maybe she's on to something lately. She got Coinbase. It's going back up right there. Like I said, she had a little more to the bottom, but she wasn't too bad. I mean, I have to give her that. She was definitely on point. And Hood, like I said, she had bought it like kind of up right here. So I remember it was like right here. I think she might still be a little in the red, but again, not too bad right there towards the bottom. But I was just saying that day, like it still looked like it was pulling back a little bit. And again, I'm not sure because of all the SEC forms that she has to fill out. Maybe she has to do it. I have no idea. So I'm not sure. I'm just saying. But it's not looking bad. And they do look like good picks that she has at the moment right now. So I'll give her that. Good old Kathy Wood right there. Sometimes I don't agree with her picks, not all the time, but I'll say. And like I said the other day, I could clearly tell that they were pulling back a little bit more. And I was saying, I don't know why she buys them a little early. When you have that pullback, she could have got a little lower. She bought them in the 80s and she could have got them in the 70s. But I'm sure when you're buying $43 million of Google, I mean, that is still kind of a big deal. Imagine the amount of shares, how many more shares you could purchase right there, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel and everybody else. That's a big difference right there when you got $43 million and there's a $10 difference. So, interesting right there. Maybe she should hire me to help with her picks, and I would certainly do it. Like I said, I think they're good calls. I could have nailed she could have nailed the bottoms or had a better entry. Let's put it that way. It's not a bad one. She could have had a better one. Let's just put it like that. So anyway, there you go. And so we'll be following them calls because they are looking pretty good there. Elf fell off the shelf. What did Elf do right here? Elf Beauty got crushed right there. Oh man, Elf is falling off the shelf. Might want to. You could probably short that down tomorrow, possibly, guys. So Elf looking a little short tomorrow, possibly. So maybe puts on Elf tomorrow. So yeah, we always look for the best opportunities. So keep an eye on that one. It is falling down and could be an easy fall down again. So what's it say? Elf Beauty shares fall after TD Cohen lowers its price target from 110 to 100 while maintaining a buy rating. Well, that isn't too bad. It's only at 74. So anyway, it does look like it could pull back, and tomorrow could be a down day that with data on Wednesday could hurt markets or get a rally. Well, yeah, there you go, Michael Anthony. There you go. You hit it on the head right there. Could hurt the markets or we get a rally. I would say there probably are two outcomes there, Michael Anthony. But you're absolutely right. The market has some data coming up on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. So there is all kinds of good stuff coming out. That's for sure. Neuro One's pain management delivery system. Yeah, Joseph, why don't you that's true. We could hook you up with Dave and see if he could help you on that. I didn't even think about that. And no news on Asian Jolie, everybody. Me and Laptop Travel have been reaching out. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if she just kind of retired and just went into retirement. I hope everything's all right. And I hope that's the case, but we miss her, that's for sure. And yeah, Joseph Levy, that thing might be good for you. That Neuro One's pain man. Maybe we can set you up with the CEO and see if that would help you out any. So maybe we can do that. That's definitely could be possible for sure. And you're what were you saying right here? Let me see. L4, L5, FAA located down by your small of the back top of your butt. T9 is located between the shoulder. Oh shit, so they had to freaking make two different incisions, huh? They had to go to the top and to the bottom and make two different ones. Damn, that's crazy. And you're yeah, that's not fun, dude. And hopefully you are all good, that's for sure. So yeah, everybody thinking about you, that's for sure. And let's see, Zach, you want to see what Sensei's doing right here? Oh no, that's not Sensei, that's Sensonics or whatever. Sensionics. That's not looking too bad there, Zach. Let's jot that bad boy down. Could have a good momentum play right there. What SENS? Anybody keeping an eye on that one? I was not looking at it. I'm not going to lie, Zach, but that doesn't look too bad, I must say. Elon's SpaceX has redirected efforts from Mars to the moon colonization. In the near term, Mars will be a focus in about 7 years, and Mars launches cannot be accomplished as quickly as lunar missions do. So that's why all that stuff was cruising along. That's what Ben was saying. So to the positional relationship between Earth and Mars, yeah, I mean, Mars is pretty far out there. We can definitely get to the moon. At least we assume we can. We think that all the moon landings are real, I guess. And so, yeah, interesting. How's Reddit look, Michael Anthony? Well, let's take a look at it because we were definitely trading it the other day. And wow, that could be a great opportunity just off a bounce play. That's for sure. I like it, Michael Anthony. How about you? I'd say Reddit setting back up right there could be a good one just to throw in like a long term account real quick, and it could be popping up there. So there you go. And you want to see what Levi jeans are up to, or are you talking about Joseph Levy? Levi Jeans hitting some resistance again, hitting the MACD. We'll have to see what it wants to do there tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm not going to lie, Michael Anthony. So we'll definitely have to see what's going on there. And let's see. You were unconscious at the time. And let's see. If you'll take a look if he can't sleep tonight. So yeah, there you go. And Joseph Levy. So yeah, we're all thinking about him, and he's in the hospital just hanging out there. So I told him to just chime in, and we'll keep him occupied and keep him company for a little bit. That's for sure. The hospital's like the worst, but could you imagine like all your friends are on? Like he's pretty well. He knows everybody on here, and he's just hanging out. So it's like being with your friends. That would be pretty cool. So I'd hope that I hope we're bringing some entertainment and enjoyment to Joseph Levy at the very least tonight as he's recovering in the hospital from some major surgery. I mean, it was so bad, guys. They were only going in for one back surgery. They had to do two. So you can just imagine that you could tell he's gotten banged up, but that's not his first one. Dude has metal rods and screws. I mean, he's like the titanium guy. No lie. He got mangled in the military. He told me and Luis Rodriguez the story. And yeah, like I said, he's lucky he's alive. That's for sure. So we're thinking about him and wishing him a speedy recovery. That's for sure. So he can get back to his pool game. He's incredible at pool. And his daughter, well, how old's her daughter? She's like 8 or 9 years old. She's amazing at pool too. She's really, really good. She plays in tournaments and wins. It's crazy, guys. So I've seen her play because he puts the live feed up, and she is really good. And she would definitely run me in circles. I'll tell you that right now. So there you are, a little bit about Joseph Levy. And yeah, Reddit looking really good right there. Earnings tomorrow morning during the pre-market. Coca-Cola is early, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. We'll see what it wants to do. CVS, aren't they like a private company? Didn't they like actually go out of business or something? I forgot what happened, but announces that approximately 9,000 community pharmacies are now accepting the Trump RX discount cards and supporting associated fertility and NovaCare servings. Oh, speaking of that, how about Hims right here? Holy cow, they got blown out the water. Hims and Hers shares fall after BOFA, what the heck is that? Cuts the price target to 21 and flags heightened FDA related risks to its GLP-1 business. The company is halting sales of its compounded Wegovy pill following an FDA probe and faces a Novo Nordisk federal patent infringement lawsuit over compounded Wegovy and Ozempic products. So I don't think it's looking so good for Hims and Hers, that's for sure. And that's a big old dip. So you keep an eye on that one. And let's see what else was going on. Pfizer right here. They're having some earnings tomorrow morning. Not looking so bad going into the earnings. You can keep an eye on Pfizer. And Spot. What is that? Spotty. Good old Spotify right there. That's way down. Wow, look at that thing. That looks like it's going to keep on dipping. I don't know. We'll have to see what it wants to do with this data dog too. Is looking interesting right there. And Oscar, we do know their earnings are tomorrow. That does look pretty good out of them. So there you go. It's some earnings in the morning. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And you forgot to mention, Joseph Levy, that they also took bone marrow from your hip to put on your spine to help with the fusion. That hurts. Holy cow. Yeah, that doesn't tickle, dude. That's like getting that removed is like one of the most painful things. Whoa, that's crazy. Thank you, Laptop Travel. I had asked what Ross Cameron, we were talking about him from Warrior Trading. Like I said, he's a good dude. If you want somebody else to pay attention to and see somebody else, and like I said, I just try to point out the people that are honest and good at it. And Ross is definitely one of them people from Warrior Trading. He does live trading all the time. Good dude. Has YouTube videos and all that good stuff. Been around for a while. Makes bank. He's has some big losses. We all do. It happens, guys. I mean, if you're never going to say that you're not going to, you're not being honest about the market. So you guys know who's honest and who's not. I do point it out. You guys know that. You guys know I'm super honest. I tell you everything going on. So there you are, Ross Cameron, good dude right there. Coca-Cola will beat the earnings according to Michael Anthony, and he'd probably know. I have no idea. And but Michael Anthony's saying they're going to beat it. So we'll see what happens with that. Why would I comment on SG? Because you made a comment. Did I really? There you go. Michael Anthony, I don't remember. We talk about so many, Sweet Green. I kind of do remember this being on the laptop travel list and you saying something about it. I'd go back and look at my notes and find out what day it was. And then we'll have to see what happened if it actually went up, because again, it could have been like right here, and then we caught this pop, which is a very good possibility. What day? February 3rd. Let's see. I won't waste our time right now. I'll go back and look. How about that? February 3rd, SG. I'll look. And I have my notes sitting right here. So, yeah, it could have been a situation like that. And then where you said it was going to go down, but it popped up and now it's finally going down. And yeah, we were both right. So it could be something like that right there. I do kind of remember being on a laptop travel list. And how about that steel company? What are they called? Cliff something, right? Cleveland Cliffs. That's what the heck it's called. That was pulling back right there. Plunges 24%. It said after wider than expected Q4 EBITDA loss. Holy cow. I don't know what happened, but I guess they had some major losses right there. CFL made a loss, and Farmer Jim on half show on CNBC. What the hell is he talking about? What is he talking about, guys? Bought shares that Joe said, why in the hell would you buy? What, what is he talking about? Kramer? What is he talking about? So, Mike, Lewis Roderick, can you put that in the AI so I know what he's talking about? I have no idea who he's talking. He just said or he talked Kramer. I don't even know. Who the hell is Farmer Jim on a half show? What the heck is he talking about? CNBC? Is he talking about CNBC? Michael Anthony, you are the greatest. I love you, dude. You are so funny. But what are you talking about? Who is Farmer Jim and a half show? What the heck is he talking about? Holy cow, you make me laugh. I love it. And no problem, Janica. I'm sorry I couldn't think of your name earlier. Really had a brain fart there. And yeah. And yeah. Joseph Levy, he's still hanging out. He was in Iraq when that happened. It wasn't Afghanistan. It was Iraq. I knew it was overseas. And yeah, he got mangled, guys. So he's, like I said, he's lucky to be alive. And many surgeries later, that's for sure. So pretty wild stuff. And oh yeah, and then you fell into a 6.5 foot. You fell off a 6.5 foot demo container, like a one of them big trash can, like a dumpster container back home in 2022. I forgot that you told us that. That was kind of crazy too. You were working and you fell off that thing. Holy cow. Yeah, that's pretty wild, dude. BLSH, let's see what this is. Bullish, that's what it's called. It's called bullish right here. It looks kind of bullish, guys. Let's go with it. And so there you are, a BLSH. And we look at this before. Is this like one that does something with crypto or something? I kind of forget, but there's your bullish right there. And let's see, CRON and CGC for the cannabis winners. Cron is Kronos Group. Couldn't think of the name of it. But yeah, that's Kronos Group, and obviously Canopy Growth right there. So Kronos Group looking pretty good, I must say. Keep an eye on that one. And CGC right here. Tilray is a good one too. I told you this one before. This one, keep an eye on that. Laptop Travel. Tilray is looking pretty nice right there, getting set up. I would definitely watch that as well. And let's see. You'd be down with meeting with Nora one. All right, I'll set you up there. We have to I'll have to reach out to Dave and just I'll tell him your story. I should have talked about you when I talked to him, but I'll reach out to him. We talked to him today. Check out the small cap show and today he was on there, and I also talked to him before. I forget the day. I can try to find I can find the video for you and send it over. You can check it out. But Yeah, I'll definitely set you up with him. You would probably be a great patient for that, to be honest with you, Joseph Levy. I mean, all the shit you've been through, holy cow. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. That's your fifth back, and you had one neck surgery. Can you imagine guys having five back surgery? And they just did two of them at one time today. So you might as well call that 5 and 6 right there, to be honest. That's two cuts on you and two different spots. That's like two surgeries and a neck surgery. Wow, that's wild, guys. So, and your daughter's 9 years old. She'll run us all in circles at pool. I'm telling you, she's really, really good. It's pretty wild. I've watched her play on the weekends. Just he live streams it, so I've seen her play. And I'm like, holy cow, she's really good at pool. It must just run in your blood, Joseph Levy, because you said you don't even have a pool table at your house. So I'd understand you're good because you play all the time. You've been playing for years, but I don't understand how she got so good so fast. So it's kind of crazy. BOFA is the Bank of America, huh? Oh yeah, Bank of America. There you go. And see, you got right. That was right over my head. Michael Anthony's referring to CNBC's halftime report, often called the half show or halftime show by viewers and traders. Oh, all right. Well, thank you, Laptop Travel. I had no idea what he was talking about. And so he is talking about a half show. And was that like last night? Halftime report? Did they do a show at the halftime? I don't even know. I'm kind of confused, to be completely honest with you. CNBC's halftime report, often called, oh, they do a halftime report, I guess, each day. I have no idea. You guys are confusing the hell on me, but Cleveland Cliffs right there, ticker symbol for steel. We were just talking about that, CLF. And and Joseph, yeah, it's too funny. Joseph Lee said, "Stop it! It hurts from laughing." Thank you, Michael Anthony, with your incoherent chats. So there you go. And there you are. So I'm glad we could give my Joseph Levy some good entertainment and a good laugh, but I'm sure he's probably dying over there. He's probably like, oh my goodness, everything hurts. I shouldn't even be listening, but it's so fun because of all my buddies here, and they're making me laugh because Michael Anthony, I can't. So here we go. This is what he's talking about. Farmer Jim is Jim Lebenthal added to his position on Cleveland. I don't even know who that is. And Joe Terranova, another regular halftime report panelist trader. Joe has questioned or pushed back on bullish takes on struggling stocks like CLF in the past. I got to watch this show, I guess, huh? I've never heard of it, to be honest with you. So maybe I'll have to check it out, Michael Anthony. I'll have to watch it with you one day. Maybe we'll stream it and we'll, what time's it on? I have no idea. The halftime report. Yeah, I have no clue what time that's on or what it is. But anyway, how to we'll have to check that out with Jim Liebenthal. That's Farmer Jim. He must walk around with straw in his mouth and wear overalls. And then you got Joe Terranova, another regular halftime reporter. So they should add Dougie Fresh Picks. It'll be a real wild show, I'd bet. And you add Farmer Joe and me. Holy cow. Or Farmer Jim. I don't even remember what his name is. Farmer Jim, not Joe. Holy cow. Anyway, there you go. How about that, Joseph Levy? Did you have fun with that show? Because that's wildness, huh? And every single show here is wild. You missed it. I started the show in Spanish. And speaking of, I mean, real quick, we won't even get too into it because we talked about it enough yesterday. The halftime show. I mean, the song list was absolutely insane. Let's just look at one thing. I'll show you one thing. I meant to pull it up. Hold on. I'll pull it up real quick. Hold on. Let me do this. I tweeted it out, but I should be able to just pull that up. Yeah, let's see. All right, let me pull this up real quick. I don't know what's going on there. We're live. And let me see here. Ready? So I asked Grok earlier. I said just act as like a here, you can. I'll show you what I said. I said act as an expert translator in Spanish and translate the lyrics from the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show into English. So I don't know why anyone didn't do this, but anyway, I did it. And here we go. You guys, I mean, some of these, if this is what he was talking about, guys, it's kind of crazy. I mean, no one can talk about the vibe or anything else. This is pretty wild. So, all right, part one, not so bad. Titty Me Pregunta. We were right. That was the first song right there. Titty Me Pregunta, guys. So that was the number one song. We were saying DTMF, though, but he did do Titty Me Pregunta. And I don't know if he did DTMF at all. I have no idea. I guess we'll figure it out right here. But anyway, I just got to read the second verse. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy right here, guys. I didn't read all the lyrics, but I got to this part and I was like, what is going on right here? Is this the one that he was talking or is it the next one? Hold on. I got to see. It could have been the third one. I totally forgot. Oh, yeah. It was like right here because this is all getting crazy right here. Yeah. This is, yeah, it was right here. All right. So, you guys ready? Listen to this, guys. Here you go, Joseph Levy. Have some fun with this. Last night, apparently, according to Grok, now I don't know, and again, I can speak a little Spanish. I couldn't understand a word the dude was saying, and I'm not gonna lie, and we'll talk about that later. But I didn't even like the Kid Rock halftime show either. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let me just read this thing. You guys can I don't know if you can see it that well on the screen or not. But here you go, part 2. Yo Pedro Sola Sefer. Remember we saw that? And so you used to ignore me. You ignored me. Now I ignore you. Before you didn't want to. Now I don't want to. I used to ignore me. Women all over the world. Now I ignore you. Before you didn't want to. Now I don't want to. Twerking without fear. Now it gets good. Ready? So no, chill. I twerk alone. I move it. I twerk alone. Okay. And then he says, my D is being chased and I want you to hide it. Grab it like a bonga. What the hell is a bonga? Is that like like, I don't even know. Grab it like a bonga. She took a pill that made her horny. She F's in the Audi, but he used the real word and not in the Honda. If I give it to you, don't call me. Cause this is not to make you love me. If your boyfriend doesn't, he better F you, whatever. And then it says, when she twerks, she doesn't stop. She smokes and gets horny. She calls you if she needs you. But for now, she is alone. She twerks. That was one of the verses, guys. And according to ChatGPT, or no, Grok, according to Grok, that was one of the verses. So here you go. And this one just kept saying party, party, party or something. But there was another kind of crazy one. I forget what the hell it was. But that one caught my eye. Again, I didn't even read the entire thing. And so yeah, we got to go through it, I guess, and see. If you're listening to listening to music from Puerto Rico, from the neighborhoods and the housing projects, she's coming around and she never shows up alone. Low. She never shows up alone. All the bad boys put down their guy. What the hell is he even talking about? I don't even know what he's talking about. And yeah, good afternoon, California, and something. So yeah, I don't know. This is what he was saying. And nobody could understand a word he was talking about anyway. But apparently Grok figured it out right here. So, yeah, this might be because it even had Lady Gaga's chorus right here and all that good stuff. And so, yeah, this is what it said. So if you guys are interested, I can't obviously read it all because it's a lot to read there. But he was definitely talking about some crazy stuff. I'm not going to lie. Nobody had a clue what the hell he was talking about because you had to understand Spanish. But not only that, like you have to understand, like there's different types of Spanish. So you have to actually understand Puerto Rican. I don't really understand any Puerto Rican. That's why I didn't understand them. I can understand more like Mexican. And so yeah, I couldn't understand anything he was talking about. It just sounds like a bunch of slang to me, to be honest with you. But I could understand, like if a Mexican person went on there and was speaking, I'd probably understand almost all of it, to be honest, or at least know the gist of what was going on. Puerto Rican, I just really don't know too much, to be completely honest with you. It's a lot of the same words, but they do speak differently, I would say. And anyway, yeah, this is what he was talking about, but that second verse looked a little crazy. I have to go through the rest of it and actually look at the rest because I didn't really read it completely. I got to that and I was like, well, that's kind of nuts because he's thought if he was saying this line right there, I mean, that's pretty wild that the NFL was letting that go on. Roger Goodell had no idea what the heck he was talking about, I'm sure. So he has no idea what was happening. And yeah, I mean, just some crazy idea, just a crazy thing that happened. I mean, you're talking, and again, guys, you're talking about the largest sporting event for all of American sports. And everyone knows the halftime show is huge. It's a big deal. It always is. So to have a guy that only speaks Spanish come out and do it is kind of like a big FU to the country, is it not? I mean, talk about the vibe, talk about whatever you want. You didn't even know what the hell he was saying, and he's talking about effing some chicken in an Audi, and you don't even know what the hell he's talking about. So there you go. His first girlfriend in kindergarten, Maria, and all kinds of crazy stuff was going on, guys. So no one even knows what he was saying, but everybody's sicking up for him, saying it was happens to be this great thing. Now my whole thing is, and hey, Joseph Levy, you probably saw this, and maybe Robin, some Cavino and Rich listeners, because somebody, I should just go on there and post. I had to read it to my wife because it's just so bizarre. I mean, this dude's out of his mind. This is like people that don't have a response for anything in life. This is what they go to. I got to read this to you because I'm telling you, this is what people talk about in life. And here it is. I got to read this to you. So, ready? The post was yesterday from Tanya Roy. She said Bad Bunny killed it, way better than the past few years, right? So then I just happened to say, were you guys watching the same halftime show as me where Terrible Bunny performed? So that's what I wrote. And then somebody said, yeah, I guess I was watching the wrong show, but to each your own. And Tanya said, really, it was terrible compared to Rihanna. And I said, well, at least I could understand Rihanna. But anyway, and then Chuck Hansen, we got to call this dude out. I mean, this dude is idiotic. This is the idiotic mentality of people when they don't have anything to say and they're brainwashed by media. Wait till you hear this conversation right here, guys. I mean, this is bizarre. So he says to me, you probably couldn't see or hear it well inside your pointy white hood. He says that. So I guess I'm a Klan member, right? So then I respond, I love wearing pointy white hoods, especially since I'm Jewish. What a stupid comment, Chuck. This proves you're an idiot, a 100. So then he responds, being Jewish has nothing to do with you acting like a racist. And I said, and then I respond, because I did not like the halftime show. I'm a racist. Again, you're proving you're an idiot. Why does race have anything to do with it? I can actually speak Spanish, and I spent years helping Spanish-speaking people learn to speak English. The halftime show sucked, and you think it has to do with race. You're so dumb. Why does these people think that people are racist because they don't like the halftime show? No one's allowed to have an opinion that they didn't like the thing. To be honest with you, I didn't like the Kid Rock one either. So am I still really racist? I thought that one wasn't that good. I had them both on. I watched them both, so I knew what was going on. And I thought they both sucked, to be completely honest with you. So, yeah, how is that racist? I mean, that is the dumbest answer and comment. And I've heard it and seen it a million times today on social media. It's like these people have no other answer. But again, people aren't allowed to have an opinion if they didn't like the actual halftime show because it didn't agree with you. You think they're racist? I mean, it doesn't even make sense to say somebody was wearing a pointed hood and a Klan member because they didn't like the halftime show is the most idiotic response I've ever heard in my life. And I just had to point that out. So, yeah, Chuck Hansen, you're a moron, dude. You're an idiot. And that just proves, I bet you're a very woke individual. And it just proves how stupid them people are, because that is the most idiotic response I've ever seen in my life. And I had to and he had never responded back, because he has nothing to say. There's no answer for him. He's calling me a racist when I wasn't being racist at all. And I clearly, you guys know, I'm the furthest thing from racist. I mean, holy cow, how stupid are people? And I've seen that exact mentality from like a million people on social media today. These people are out of their goddamn minds, people. They're out of their minds. They don't even understand reality. I mean, they're just going. Again, I didn't even think the Turning Point one was good. That has nothing to do with it. You can't say that I'm a racist because I didn't like Bad Bunny. It was terrible. I didn't understand the lyrics. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't get any of the references. It was pointless to me, and I didn't think it lined with the NFL. Because guess what? The people that pay for the tickets are people that listen to Bad Bunny. Don't you think you're going to be entertaining the people that actually pay for these things? I mean, holy cow. You got business owners and stuff that fork out tons of money for these tickets all year. That's who you should make the halftime show for. The people that spent money all goddamn year going to the NFL games, forking out tons of money on it. Not some people you don't target it, the people that don't even spend. What is going on? Like I said, Roger Goodell should be terminated. He should have been let go after that. It was the worst performance ever. Has nothing to do with race. You didn't know what he was talking about, and it was stupid. It was so dumb, and that's it. It's so simple. It's no race, has nothing to do with it. Again, you could have put salsa, anything on there. It doesn't line up with the NFL. It doesn't even make sense for the biggest American sporting event to have an all Spanish thing. Now, if you want to have a segment where you have Bad Bunny like come out and then like he's with somebody and he does a song in Spanish, okay, perfectly fine. But to do the whole entire halftime show in Spanish and then to think people are racist is retarded. I mean, people have done lost their minds. So I just had to tell you that because Chuck Hansen's clearly a moron, and I don't even know who he is, but he's a Covino and Rich listener clearly because he's on their thread. But I've seen that and that mentality from like a million people. So yeah, I don't know if they all get their answers from like the same media or whatever it is. I have no idea, but it's like they can't even think. And I'm telling you, he's not the only person. I had to bring it up because I'm telling you, I was like, this dude is really dumb. To think that I'm racist because I didn't like the halftime show is the dumbest answer I've ever heard. And again, it's not even relevant. It had no relevant. It wasn't relevant to whatever we were talking about. And that's what they try to do. They try to call me a racist because I didn't agree with his opinion. What a moron. So yeah, guys, I had to point that out, and so yeah, maybe I'll even cut that clip and put it on the Scavino and Rich thing. I mean, holy cow! Could you imagine being that retarded in life that you think people are racist because they have an opinion and didn't like the halftime show because the guy sang it? Who cares what he sang it in? I don't even care. I didn't understand it, and it wasn't good. That's it. And I didn't like the Kid Rock one either. So there you go. End the story. Anyway, here we go. And so I hope you guys like that little rant. And yeah, you guys could go read the thing. And what were you guys saying? That so CNBC Wednesday weekdays, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 is when they have that halftime show or whatever. I have to check that out, actually. That sounds interesting. And Broken Joe, me. TPUSA, the Turning Point show, was much better for us. Of course, we have a lot of country music lovers. So there you go, Laptop Travel. And Gabby Barrett, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Bryce, they were all good. Again, I watched it. I don't know any of them either. I'm not going to lie. I know who Kid Rock is. And yeah, they were decent. I mean, they had a good show, but I'm not going to say it was great. And so, yeah, that was my opinion. A lot of people liked it. My opinion, I really didn't like either of them, to be honest. So to call me a racist because I didn't like Terrible Bunny is absolutely bonkers. So, yeah, but I did watch them both. I had them both on. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez. And Bad Bunny's lyrics are primarily categorized as Latin trap and reggaeton, often broadly grouped under the umbrella of musica urbana, urban music. All right. So there you go. And Joseph Levy said, Paul's nurse here is giving him his meds. So he's definitely going to pause on that one. You know that. And he's going to need some of them. I think a lot. He's getting them around the clock. I'm sure he probably needs them, especially, oh, man, you got a, what's that called? What did you say you had done on your hip? Bone marrow. Oh, that hurts, dude. Everyone says that's like really painful. I've never had it done, obviously, but I've heard people have it. And yeah, that's really painful, I hear. So yeah, hopefully you're all good, dude. And let's see, Puerto Rican styles that originated in Barraros and projects, kind of odd for the premier event in American sports with celebrities and millionaires in attendance. That's what I'm saying, Laptop Travel. It was just so off. It wasn't even like they were in the same galaxy. I don't even understand how anyone. Okay, I get it. People like the music sounded good. I'll agree. I watched it again today, as a matter of fact, to see if there was something else that I missed. Like, what did I miss? All right, the music, like the the sound of it was good. You know, I like Spanish music. I actually love it. So, yeah, it was good like that, but I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. I had no idea what any of the songs were. I understood Lady Gaga. That was about it, but I mean, it didn't matter at that point. I was already lost. And yeah, it just wasn't really good. Now, if it was like Lady Gaga and then he came out and sang a song in Spanish, I think most people would be like, all right, we'll watch it. They lost, like, do you know how many millions of people didn't even watch the halftime show, guys? I mean, that Turning Point had over 5 million people. Do you know what that's going to do to the NFL? And this is why I think Roger Goodell is going to have to be out of there, because he just messed up big time. He just showed that now there's a little area that people can capitalize on the Super Bowl now, because now they always, I mean, you always had the Puppy Bowl and other things, but you never got 5 million people to go over to these things immediately and have people talking about it nonstop. He gave the opportunity now for somebody next year to really capitalize and be like, yo, you don't want another shitty Super Bowl halftime show. We're already going to be on top of it. And if they even think about not having somebody normal and speaking English and what people want, like I said, the fans, that's where you got to really cater to. You got to cater to the major fans. And if it's someone that the major fans don't really want, they're going to be toast, because guess what? They're charging people like $10 million for commercials. And guess what? You're not going to buy a commercial if these people aren't sticking around for the entire game, because you don't know when your commercial is going to be on. They may miss it, and you're not going to pay $10 million for that risk. And nobody is. And then they're going to have to start dropping Super Bowl prices on commercials instead of making them go higher, because each year they go up. So if they get that kind of feedback and that kind of pushback, they'll end up having to drop the prices, and it'll smack the NFL right across the head. And yeah, I think it might happen, guys. I think they just kind of showed everybody that there's a little weakness in there, and somebody's going to take advantage of that weakness. I promise you. And yeah, they're going to get taken advantage of. And now there's going to be way bigger opportunities outside of the halftime show, I believe, with ads and stuff. And I think these companies are going to try to negotiate now and be like, look, you lost over 5 million people last year. How do I know my commercial is going to be when these 5 million people are still watching it? And that's a lot of leverage, guys. So NFL, you just screwed up big time. And every company listening out there, take my speech right there, because I'm telling you, you just leveraged yourself, because they're morons. And Roger Goodell, he shouldn't have a job anymore, to be completely honest. And I should clip this thing and send it to him, because I'm telling you, every single company is going to use that kind of leverage. You let 5 million plus people leave your audience. So the eyes left, you don't even know if they came back after that. So you just done screwed up big time, Goodell. And that's business, guys. That's what it's all about right there. And that's why you can't do dumb shit like that. And that's why I said yesterday he needs to be out of here. I had already thought about that yesterday, the minute it happened, and I seen the numbers. I said 5 million people. That's ridiculous. I think I sent a post about it, because, again, my brain goes right to the business aspect of it. And I'm like, now there's a major opportunity every single Super Bowl, and they're going to keep on nipping at them. And guess what? Like I said, business owners aren't going to want to pay $10 million if you're not going to have that entire audience the entire game. So just think about it, guys. They might have just kicked themselves right in the ass real hard right there. Because, again, I'm already saying it. I haven't heard anybody else mention that, but I'm already saying this. And I guess if I'm already talking about it, I'm probably not the only person that has that mindset. So just think about that, guys. And like I said, I didn't hear anybody else say it. Maybe you guys have today. I have no idea, but I definitely didn't hear anybody else make that rant or give that example of why it's about to smash the NFL and their entire halftime show, I think, going forward. So just something to think about, I think. And yeah, kind of crazy. And a major part of his appeal, refusal to cross over by singing in English instead of forcing global audiences to engage with a specific Puerto Rican dialect and cultural references. Yeah, it was just bizarre. I'm telling you, it was kind of weird. And what did Michael Anthony say right here? We got to know. They was the worst halftime show. Then the game suck also. I love it, Michael Anthony. Well put right there. I must say, they was the worst halftime show. Then the game sucked also. The game wasn't great. The halftime show is so bad. And I think Roger Goodell just shot himself in the foot right there with the Super Bowl halftime shows, guys. I really think it's going to come back to bite him in the ass. I'm telling you, he's going to have to go because that's a move that's like, that's almost like pulling a woke move, like a Budweiser, like hiring Dylan Mulvaney, guys. I mean, that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of feedback you're getting today. And again, you're pissing off these guys, people, your consumers that pay. They go to 18 games a year and they buy these tickets that are just astronomical. They not only do that, they pay for licensing fees for the stupid seats plus the stupid tickets. And you're going to piss these people off? Like, what are you, a freaking moron? How dumb can you really be? So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on. And you sent me a top 10 halftime shows. Let me look. Prince was number 1. Michael Jackson number 2. Let me look. Let me go back in there and check it real quick. Hold on, laptop travel. Let me see that message real fast, and I'll check it out and read it off real quick. Top 10 right here. Here we go. Prince in 2007, number 1. Michael Jackson. Well, let's start from, well, you already know, but who cares? Well, this has 8. You have 8 here, but anyway. Oh, wait, show. Maybe if I hit the show more, it'll show me all 10. So it says number 10, Bad Bunny, latest entry with huge production, Latin heritage, celebration, surprise guest. That was number 10. Number 9 was last year with Kendrick Lamar. And that's pretty wild. Number 8 was in 2015 with Katy Perry. Number 7 was Rihanna in 2023. I do kind of remember that. Number 6 was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira in 2020. And then number 5 is Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent. And that was 2022. And let's see who else. Was Kendrick Lamar there? Oh, yeah, he was, wasn't he? Number 4 was Beyonce here, and she was in 2013, Destiny's Child reunion there, powerful vocals and choreography. And number 3 was U2 in 2002. And again, guys, I don't think U2 is an American band, and people like that. So I don't think that's exactly racist, is it? I mean, they do speak English, but they're not exactly an American band. Number 2 was Michael Jackson, 93, and number 1 was Prince in 2007. So there you go, everybody. That's the top 10. And how the hell is Bad Bunny and Kendrick Lamar already in the top 10? Did Metallica play one year? Weren't they pretty good? And a couple other people were pretty good at some point. You're telling me Kendrick Lamar was that good? I thought last year's wasn't that great, but it was definitely better than this year's, I thought. So, yeah, U2's Irish. There you go. And, yeah, I would say Kendrick Lamar was better than Bad Bunny. To be honest with you, I wasn't that big of a fan of Kendrick Lamar. Didn't know any of his music either. But it was okay. It was all right, I guess. At least you could understand what he was talking about. So, yeah, interesting, huh? So, yeah, I guess I'm racist, too, because I didn't really like Kendrick Lamar either. Holy cow. Wasn't that great? That dude saying that. I mean, what a comment. But anyway, there's your top 10 right there. Thanks, Laptop Travel, for that. That's interesting right there. And obviously, I think that was according to what? ChatGPT, possibly, I might think. So, yeah. That was interesting right there. I saw Luis Rodriguez did post out the earnings, so let me retweet that real quick for you guys. Let's check out and see what's trending. Couldn't think of that word right there, but what's trending over here? APP. We looked at AppLovin, RGNX. Not sure what that is, but it's way down. Is that like? No, that's not what I'm thinking it is. But anyway, let's see RGNX right here. Yeah, Regionx Bio or something. Not familiar with that one. And PGY, let's see what that is right here. Oh, it doesn't have an I. PGY, Pagaya Technologies, and that is down today as well. Let me see if there's anything up. That Fiserv's up going into its earnings in the morning right there, Luis Rodriguez. And that Credo, you said, rig right here, Transocean. Yeah, Transocean, that's moving along. That doesn't look bad. Oil and gas drilling right there. Nothing really crazy. Check out this gold one. We were talking about some gold ones. Austin Gold. This is a good one too, right there. if you like gold ones, right? You can keep that on your list. Oh yeah, how the hell is Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake not on the top list? Like he like pulled her boob out or something. I mean, that should be like number one in itself right there, shouldn't it? So yeah, what the hell is this? You're gonna tell me Bad Bunny was better than Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake? Get out of town. At least I remember that show. I mean, that's an incredible thing to do. I mean, he really made people remember that show. I'm not gonna lie. What did Michael Anthony say here? Michael Anthony said, this halftime show won't be talked about is all I'm hearing that it sucked that people believe they did not crap what they did not crap that we are in the USA and not Brazil. He's Puerto Rican anyway, Michael Anthony, but holy cow. Put that in the chat GPT, Rodrigo. Look at that sentence right there, guys. Somebody else read that for me. This halftime show won't be talked about is all I'm hearing that it sucked that people believe they did that crap that we are in the USA and not Brazil. That's a great sentence, Michael Anthony. I love it. Anyway, there you go with that. NPGY, enough of that halftime show. Like I said, it was god awful, and it wasn't because I'm racist. I thought the Kid Rock one wasn't good either. And there you go. I didn't think either halftime show was good. I thought the game wasn't good. Yeah, I honestly think May, he looked like he looked like he owed the mafia money, and they were like, yo, you're throwing the Super Bowl. This is how we're making back all of our money. You're just going to go out there and you can't start playing until the middle of the fourth quarter. You can try to start playing. And that's what it looked like to me, guys. I mean, he looked like a statue out there. He threw that last interception. There was no intended receiver. He just threw it, and it was just in the air to the Seattle guy. I don't even know who the intended receiver is. I still can't figure it out a day later. I don't think they figured it out. Nobody knows who the intended receiver was for that pass. Holy cow. I think he owed somebody money. I'm not going to lie. That game was terrible. And, I mean, granted, their offensive line struggled, but he was just terrible out there. And that's what I see in the Super Bowl. And, well, did you enjoy it at least, Joseph Levy, before you went in for your surgery? And you said they had the bone marrow taken on both sides of your hips. Holy cow. Once last March for your neck surgery and once today. Oh, man, you already dealt with that. Is that like super painful? I've heard that's like really painful. I'm not sure why. Don't they have to like scrape the marrow off your bones? Like I would imagine that would freaking hurt. I mean, it sounds like that would not be very comfortable. That's for sure. So I'm not exactly sure. I might have to look into it. I'm not sure what they do, but it doesn't sound comfortable, and I've heard that like really hurts, but it does help you. I mean, it helps things grow, and I know that, so it's definitely a good thing, but I heard that it hurts. First half was all field goals for Seattle, and that New England New England couldn't do anything. Seattle could only kick a field goal, and then and that's why I'm saying, Michael Anthony, I think the Patriots could have done a little better if May hadn't owed the Mafia or the bookies money, because it looked like he didn't even play the first half. He didn't play the third quarter either. He played the last half of the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, it was like, he looked at the time, and they gave him a certain time he could start playing, and he was like, oh, hit that time. I can finally start working now. It was crazy. I'm telling you. We'll go back and watch that game. It's insane. So the interception in the fourth quarter was intended for Kyle Williams, but he threw it into a crowd. He threw it into a crowd. He underthrew it. Kyle Williams, he was like 5 yards down the field. And it wasn't even close. It was so bad. It was like, holy cow. Just give up now and just hand the Seahawks the goddamn trophy and just get off the field, because this is embarrassing. And especially after that halftime show. Oh, man, that was an embarrassing Super Bowl right there, I think. So anyway, again, another reason why Roger Goodell, he needs to go, guys. I mean, holy cow. Not only is that Super Bowl terrible, he made all the decisions, I guess, to, he okayed it. That's for sure. He's the commissioner. So let Bad Bunny be in there. And then obviously, he's going to lose money on his Super Bowl ads because he's an idiot. And business owners are going to talk him out of spending $10 million now because you got too many millions of people leaving the Super Bowl at halftime show. Well, that's when they're supposed to be tuning in. Holy cow, you want to talk about getting an ass backwards, Goodell? Wow, that was really screwed up. You definitely messed up right there. But anyway, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Some good rants right there. Michael Anthony and Laptop Travel. And of course, Joseph Levy, we're of course thinking of you. You have a good, healthy stay in the hospital for your overnight and get well. And Luis Rodriguez and everybody else that was hanging out. I know there was a couple people, but Michael Anthony was chatting away there. I got to scroll up here, and Zach was hanging out here. And Doge Mama 9, I know Janica was on there as well. There were some other people on here in the beginning. NASCAR All Out, that's who it was. I was trying to think of that. And, of course, Consistency Spike. And we'll look at that KXIN, dude. That does look pretty good right there. I'm not going to lie. Whoa, what happened to it? Did they just take it off the list, or did I print it up wrong? Yeah, that thing was running a little pullback. We'll have to see how it works out tomorrow morning after that run up, but it doesn't look too bad there, Consistency Spike. So we'll take a look at that. So there you go, Doge Mama 9 and everybody else. I hope you guys had some fun with that. And Michael Anthony, I hope you enjoyed the show. And Joseph Levy, I hope we got to entertain you for a little bit and kill some time at the hospital. It's a nice little 2-hour show for you there. So hopefully you enjoyed that. How did either team make it to the Super Bowl? That was so boring. I know it was pretty bad. Well, Seattle's defense was on fire. I'm not going to lie. But it was a good question there because both the Patriots didn't look like it just looked like May wasn't playing. It looked like he seriously was not out there to play. It was bizarre. Go back and watch the game. You guys saw it. I mean, he was not playing out there. It was crazy. So anyway, that's what we had. And that's what we have for the market there. So you guys make sure that you enjoy your evening and tune in tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. because, we do our pre-market show at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. We do this show Sunday night through Thursday night at 8 p.m. And next Monday, the market will be closed. I was going to say the Monday coming up a week from today. Let's put it that way. Next Monday, the market will be closed for President's Day. So just giving you a week's notice right here. I noticed it today. My wife said that they had off school because of President's Day for President's Day. I was like, whoa, I think the market's closed for President's Day. I think we get a day off. That would be sweet. So I quickly looked, and it certainly is off. So it is closed for President's Day. So we'll have a nice little day off there in a 3-day weekend. So it's just something to look forward to, something to remember as you go into your Friday as well. And that's why I want to keep reminding us so we don't remember or don't forget Thursday and Friday when it's the end of the week. Not that we like to hold positions. Guys, speaking of which right here, watch this as we end the show, but always giving you a little tidbits. And remember, if you were on Friday afternoon, I did some live trading in the afternoon there. I liked burning. I thought it was going to go to 20. I talked myself out of holding it over the weekend, and I'm so glad I was on the live trading and I did it because I said, you know what, I'm going to preach what I do what I preach, and lock in those profits over the weekend. I'm not exactly sure. And don't you know, this thing was down huge today. It was down like 7% right there. It ended up coming back up, and we did catch the bottom down there. We found that bottom. So that was a good dip, but again, I was up 49% on them calls. They would have came way down. They would have been toasted. So now what you do is, and this is why you lock in those profits, because then the next day, Monday, when you open up, you buy that dip, and then it goes right back up, and you're back in the money that fast like that. So that's why you lock in those profits over the weekend and all the time, guys, because the market can do anything at any moment. You just never know. And it's way better to keep the profits in your account than watch them dwindle away when it wants to pull back right there. So sleeping on a bag of cash, that's what Laptop Travel says on the weekends. You'll rarely regret it and never lose money. That's the thing I see, Laptop. Right? You're never going to go down. Your account is going to be where it was, and you're not going to worry about it going down. If you were pretty happy happy with that win, you'll definitely be happy the next morning when it's down 7% and you got out of it. I said that. I said, I'm either going to say that was a beautiful thing to do and that's why you do it, or I'm going to say, oh shit, it went up and I should have kept it, but whatever. That's why you stick to the system, guys, and the game plan and execute it every single time. Because if not, when you don't do it, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to give back your profits every single time. Then you're going to start gambling and not playing them the right way, and you're going to end up getting beat up. The market has a weird way of humbling you, and I know if I didn't sell it, it would have humbled me this morning. So there you go. I did take them profits. It was a nice hit, and then just found it as a dip down right there, and it ran right back up. So there you go, everybody. And the other interesting thing I learned today, I forgot to touch on this, was lunar. I had these options, and for some reason, I'm not going to lie, when they were like right here, I know for a fact they went up like their highest amount, and then the price kept going up and the options were going down. I'd never seen that happen before. They were up like 40-50% or something here, and then when they were up here, they were only up like 30%. It was the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen, guys. I figured that I assumed it was going higher. That's why I didn't sell it. And then the price went down. I said, what the hell is going on right here? I'm telling you, I still have never seen, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Not that I've ever noticed anyway. So anyone have any insight on that? Feel free to let me know what the hell happened, because that was kind of weird. I know sometimes they're just, I guess, and maybe because the spreads get so big, maybe that's what it is. So I don't know. I guess that's what it might be. I guess maybe it's the spread. I have no idea, but it was really, really bizarre to see that happen there. So I've never really witnessed the call options go down as the price went up. And yeah, kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. So anyway, I still did well on them. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just letting you guys, I mentioned it in the Discord this morning too. It was just something I just remembered happened, and I thought it was kind of intriguing there. So there you go, everybody. I would say a fun time, fun show. You guys enjoy your evening. I'll catch you guys, excuse me, in the morning. So all information presented here is for educational information purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. I think I already said that, but there you go, Michael Anthony. I always forget everything, and I will catch you guys in the morning. So have a good night, and I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.